All right, we are live again with Kronos World. Welcome to Sunday night Fireside Tales with Indigo. That is me. I'll be your host for the evening. Tonight we are going to be delving back into the Sunken Citadel. It's a series of adventures from TSR. They released it as a package, so we're going to be going through these adventures and leveling up this merry band of adventurers as we go. We've already dove in a little bit. At the moment, we are in the middle of a kobold colony. The party was taking a rest for the evening when one of the party members, a goblin of dubious intent, decided to check out. Let's see what's happening here. I'm being dinged. Anyway, so he decided to check out this little prison that just happened to have some fellow goblins imprisoned inside of there. It seems that this colony of kobolds has, in fact, been at war with another colony of goblins, and they have been at war for some time. And these goblins are prisoners of the kobolds. Gok, feeling some sort of familial or I don't know, then sharing the goblin ancestry, decided to go over and check out the cage holding out these goblins while everyone else was fast asleep, or at least he hoped. And just as he managed to get the cell door open, as the lock snapped and the door slightly swung ajar, he felt a tapping on his shoulder of one of the party members, a kobold who was assigned to lead them through the rest of this citadel. Snuck up behind Gok and surprised him in the midst of this goblin jailbreak. So, that is where we are going to begin for the evening. Hey guys, how you doing tonight?
Doing pretty good.
Doing
Chillin'.
well.
Ready
Glad
for
to
the
be back.
unexpected. Interested to see how this plays out.
I am as well. I've actually been very curious about this over the last couple of weeks, and I'm interested to see what happens. We do have Quinn joining us again this evening as Brasnic, a dwarf rogue, and we will be getting him back in the story very quickly as well. Welcome back to you, sir.
Hey, glad to be back. I can never leave my party. Every time I do, there's something that happens.
I mean, there's been a lot of shenanigans since Brasnic was able to sit around the table, but we definitely welcome you back here, sir. So, yeah, that should be working. I was able to add a little feature to the situation on Twitch there. Hopefully you guys will be able to see dice rolls now. That was a comment that was made after the last show. That they would definitely like to be able to see some of the
Go
dice
off, which
rolls
is
as
great.
they go.
I've already
Hopefully
told you guys
that is something that is going now. I am just pulling up the channel real quick.
which is great.
There we go. Cool. Yeah, that should be working just fine now. So, yeah, the players will be able to see our, or the viewers will be able to see our dice rolls as we go along here. So, that should be fun. You know,
Oh boy, now they can see us mess up, not just hear it.
all one of the people that might be out there, but that's okay.
Fantastic.
That one person enjoys our show, so that's why we do it. So, so off we
love
go.
all our loyal fans.
Yes, we do. One day.
Okay.
So, I am loading you guys onto the proper screen. Go ahead and find yourselves. You should be right in the middle there somewhere. Everyone should have permissions as far as what they can see for character, race, and class.
I just want you to know I don't feel safe currently.
Yes.
I don't feel safe currently.
I'm not sure any
I
of
wonder
you
why.
should really feel safe currently, but we'll
It's
see.
probably because you chose the dumbass option.
It seemed good in my head at the time, but now it really is looking like that option.
Well, now we know what happens when we let goblins do the thinking.
Yeah.
Well, to be fair, I have like -1 intelligence, so I'm not like super dumb, but I'm not very smart.
He's playing character to point. So let's go ahead and, being the rogue that you are, Brasnic, you had decided to see if you might be able to find something ahead of time. So while the rest of the party was sleeping off the brawl with the dwarves, you decided to get back down into the basement and go through the portal. See if you might be able to find a few gold pieces or trinkets or magical treasures ahead of the rest of the party. That didn't turn out to be the best idea. You were ambushed by the kobolds in residence here, and they did manage to take you captive after a short battle. You currently find yourself incarcerated in a jail cell with these goblins that have been torturing you, for the short amount of time that you've been in there. They have definitely been, as much as you haven't been able to fight them off, they've definitely been making your time in there as miserable as possible. Any moment that you do find rest, they're back harassing you again. So it hasn't been the most pleasant experience. Sometime during the evening, as you are, just trying to find a moment of peace in here, you realize that they seem to have left you alone, and they seem to be almost gathering over towards the doorway. One's kind of in the middle of the room, and one of them is near you still, but the others are kind of over towards the door leading towards the dragon room, which you were able to kind of glance a little bit on the way in, but not too much. When suddenly the door clicks and then pops open just a little bit.
You're really giving him an out.
On the outside of that said door, Gok, you you turn around and you see Meepo very innocently looking at you as he says, "Hello, what you doing?"
Okay.
As you
No,
suddenly...
I'm not saying this. No.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a perception check.
Okay, I'll do that first.
Brasnic, go ahead and roll a perception check as well.
Okay.
Ooh,
It's not that good.
7. You are really, you're caught up in this moment with Meepo. Brasnic, that'll do it. That'll be good enough. You see, one of the goblins looks like it. This one back here looks like it has some sort of like a sharpened stick or piece of bone or something like that in its hand, and you see it hand it to this front goblin that's right up by the door, and you see it looks like the goblin in the front looks like it's about ready to grab the door and yank it open and try and force its way out or something of that nature. Looks like a jailbreak is commencing.
Well, time to endear myself to my captors.
Well,
So you have a moment here, Gok, to do something.
okay.
To change the outcome of the moment. And then, depending on what happens, it might be initiative. So,
I have possibly one way out of this. If I say doesn't actually work. Otherwise, we're possibly really screwed, guys. Possibly.
Okay.
Oh, jeez, you think?
Possibly, but I do have one thing, but I just can't use it for like probably the rest unless I get a rest or something. Which I'm probably not gonna get. I do.
Okay.
Okay, but
Remember, we need this kobold to rescue the dragon.
don't you think I know that? I'm not going to kill him. If that's what you're thinking.
Kobold's
It's not
definitely
gonna-
dying.
Okay, it's not dying. You don't know what I got, Indigo, that can possibly get me out of this.
Okay.
Possibly. Okay. If this doesn't work. Okay. Okay, I am going to try to persuade Cobalt Friend. We are going to I'm gonna try to whisper it to him. I'm going to say oh shit, what was his name again? I forgot. What was the Cobalt's name?
Maple.
Okay. I'm going to explain to Meepo that, look, we're gonna use these goblins to get close. We're gonna use these goblins to get close, Meepo. Oh, wait, no. Okay, wait.
You see his eyes going from you, now looking over towards the door.
I'm gonna try to distract him away from the door. Just
Okay.
gonna try to. I don't know. What would I do for that? To get his attention focused back onto me. I don't know.
It could be a performance check.
Could
Okay.
yeah, you could do a performance check to try and distract him.
Okay. I'm going to try to get his attention back onto me. Okay, that's pretty good.
Okay. So what kind of performance are you gonna put on to distract this kobold?
Ha. I am going to start. Okay, so I have my little staff, and you know how you kind of do like, you know that frog? Kind of, you know, the hello my baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try to do that, but try to like, you know, instead of actually taking a hat off, because it's more like kind of, it's more like a hood that kind of has like a frumpy
Mm-hmm.
hat attached to it kind of thing. It's just gonna kind of like wiggle around, kind of like how Jester's kind
It's
of
an ensemble.
Yeah, kind of like that. And I'm just going to use my staff to kind of like gently push his face back to me, and just, you know, go.
Okay.
Look,
Well,
Meepo, I've got to describe to you what my plan and thought process is. Oh, Meepo, just hear this little goblin out. Just
okay. So,
got it.
are you okay. Let me see. He doesn't have standard stuff, so I would have to roll an intelligence check on this, I think.
Okay.
So, you see him look. He starts looking over towards the door, and you start doing your dance, and you're like, la, 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 as you like take your staff, and you just gently steer his face back over towards you. You see him just like, as he just seems to be mesmerized by this performance that you have put on here.
Oh, thank God.
Okay, and then so the door to this jail cell is swung open. So we have a limited window on how much talking, interacting we have here. Is there any last second thing you would like to do here?
Shucks. I feel like I'm gonna be between a rock and a hard place, like, in an effort. Okay. I'm going... Okay, let me just see. Do I have... Oh, no, I used that in the last fight. Shucks. Okay.
We need him alive.
Brasnic, you also have an opportunity to speak up here if you would like, or interact with this moment.
Can I bolt for the door and like body check the one goblin with the sharp stick in the front out of the way so I can get out?
Yeah, go ahead and roll. God, what would that would be like an endurance charge kind of a thing.
Be like maybe a shove attempt.
Yeah,
basically?
like a shove or unarmed attack, something like that.
I'm gonna try and shove him out the way, period, so I can get to the
Absolutely.
door. Athletics?
Sure. Oh,
Hurry me away, you fucker!
20. So, Gok, as you're kind of struggling to find the excuse for the moment, all of a sudden, as this door is just sitting slightly ajar, you see this blocky form just suddenly fly into view, and you hear this as this goblin just goes flying out of the way, and suddenly you see a familiar face standing there, as Brasnic is behind this door, and as he stands there, the door finally swings open ajar enough towards you. It swings out into the hallway. It swings open enough that it does grab Meepo's attention, and
Crap.
he looks over and sees Brasnic and sees the door and says, "Guys, guys!"
Oh, dang it! Okay, wait. Shucks, I should have used this first.
As he starts
Wait,
running
wait,
towards
wait,
the
wait,
throne.
Wait, I use this. Hang on, I thought it would actually show it. I think I clicked it the wrong way, but okay. Oh wait, no, I do it with this button. Okay, there we go. I thought I could just click on it. Okay.
Oh no.
I need Meepo and Brasnic, because I didn't... Just
Okay.
anybody in a 10-foot area, because it's not controlled.
So,
I see him roll with some...
Brasnic and two of these goblins, as well as Meepo, are going to roll. What is your DC?
My DC is 12. Oh.
Oh no.
Okay, I didn't need him to fail it. I kind of wanted him to succeed it. But, sure.
That's one. That's two. Both of the goblins pass.
Wait. Oh, no, I don't care about that. Just, look.
As does Meepo.
Oh, no.
So,
No!
as he starts to yell out, and you turn around and you say, with your fey presence, the look of alarm turns to a look of horror in his eyes anyway, as he says, "He's gonna eat me!" As he goes running down the hallway.
Question, do we hear any of this? Or at least some of us do?
Every one of you guys,
Okay.
go ahead and roll perception checks.
Look, I kind of had it under control. That was not my fault. That was not my fault for making him do that.
I can hear your bullshit from here.
Ratul, you
fantastic.
instantly, your eyes pop open, and you just, as you understand the shenanigans are afoot.
He
Okay,
had -2. Meepo had -2.
I know. He had -2, and he nearly rolled a nat 20. Look at that. He nearly rolled a nat 20.
Well, he's just a little kobold, you know?
But he's so dumb.
He's got a lot of negatives.
Okay.
And he still rolled like a boss. So, All of Alardro is still sleeping, but Yin Yang, you do wake up in the corner. You hear something. You're not sure exactly what's going on, but your natural abilities as a monk, you've just been trained to come to full alertness when you're waking up and things of that nature. You just know that something is wrong. Alardro is still sleeping up against the wall, slightly snoring.
Okay.
So, let's go ahead and roll initiatives. Grab those tokens and do the thing.
So I heard enough to wake up.
Yes, sir.
Well, giggity gah.
So that
We
went,
may have to kill Gok.
that went about as poorly as it
Probably
could.
going to get strangled like Bart Simpson right now.
Do you have a second character made up for this?
I'm probably gonna make it over the week, possibly.
I am coming to strangle you.
This is
Well,
Do I roll or do I not?
okay.
what are you gonna do? So,
Okay.
yeah, go ahead, Alardro, go ahead and roll. We'll just get you in the order.
So no long rest. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, if you don't want, well, Yin Yang has the option of waking you up regardless. So,
Wow. Wow.
okay.
Look.
Okay, so this round, Alardro is going to be sleeping. Yin Yang, you will be next. What would you like to do, sir? Well,
Okay, so
I guess
I hear
for the
this, I hear
moment,
this.
Alardro is sleeping. I shouldn't say the whole round.
Okay, so I hear what's going on, and I notice something's wrong, so I'm gonna walk over to Alardro and immediately wake him up, be like, "Uh-oh, something's not right. I think Gok did something stupid."
Just assumes.
Just assumes that, yeah,
He was the one keeping watch, and shit's going down.
That's true.
That is true. Honestly, I'm not gonna.
Would that be my action to wake him up, or is that a free action?
We'll say that's a free action.
All right, I'll use the rest of my movement to get out the room.
Alardro, are you?
Yeah.
Are
No,
you-
I like slightly stir from my sleep. I'm awake, but like annoyed.
Okay.
Hmm.
Do you-
Especially after taking care of Yin Yang so much, like him waking me up while I'm sleeping. It doesn't matter the reason. Like I'm just like slightly ticked off.
Hey, it's not my fault this time.
No.
Excuse me.
Alardro doesn't say anything. He's just like.
And you
off.
told him that there was trouble afoot.
Yeah,
Pretty
You
much.
can see it in his face. Like he's like more
Are you-
than a little angry at something.
Okay. You're gonna go through the doorway and add to your movement.
Yeah. So it was about 20 there, so
So yeah, you're 20 to where you are there.
35. 40. And now I clearly see what's going on here.
Yeah. So as you come around the corner, you see Gok kind of standing there with his arms in the air, waving his fingers and doing like a googly eye thing at Meepo. And then you see Meepo just running away, heading towards down this hallway. Definitely hands in the air, oh my god style.
Gok, what the did you do?
He is currently making
Okay.
googly face.
Okay. I'm.
And then I'll yell to Meepo as well. Wait, Meepo, what happened?
He does not seem to be responding to you at this moment. So are
I can
you?
understand why.
Oh, that's my movement.
Crap.
I'm not gonna go after Meepo because I have no idea what's going on. The only thing I see is Gok trying to do some stuff. Do I see any of the goblins or Brasnic like they're not acting normal?
Roll a perception check.
Well,
Just because there's a lot going on in the moment.
Brasnic is charmed
Oh,
by
yeah.
me right now.
He is. The only one it worked on.
Yep.
Oh wow.
Literally, the only one that was affected by that.
So the 23 perception, you pretty much take in the whole moment, the whole scene. You see Meepo running away. You see Gok standing there. You see the door, the cell door, slightly ajar. Swung into the hallway, and you see Brasnic standing in the doorway as well. The face that you recognize.
Oh crap, Brasnic, what? We knew you left, but really, dude? Does he respond? And I guess I'm gonna go ahead and say all this talking is my action.
Okay. Sounds about right, sir. So is that going to be the end of your turn?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Ratul.
God damn it.
Ratul, you wake up and, yeah, definitely sounds like trouble, to say the least.
What the hell's going on in here? Yin Yang, did you do something again?
Okay. Was it?
Okay.
Just no response. Just like, yeah, of course it was me. What do you think? It was the freaking green little munchkin over there.
Well, what actually do I see when I come around the corner here?
Good. That's a good question, actually. What does he say?
So, when you came around the corner? Well, you definitely, like I said, you see Gok standing there. Why don't you go ahead and roll a perception check as well?
Wait, am
I
rolling
swear
for
to God, if I roll really high, you're in trouble.
No fears there. It's a chaotic moment. As you come around the corner, you're kind of you see Gox standing there. You notice a form in the doorway. You can't tell that it's Brasnic from your angle, and you can't really see that the door is ajar from your angle as well. Most of your attention is on Meepo scurrying down the hallway here. Meepo is next.
Well, shit.
On his turn, he is going to make it into that room there.
He's that fast?
Well, I
Or
mean,
actually,
that's
I can't
only
see. I can't actually
20
see.
feet.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I didn't know. It's like, dang. And then I realized, the rooms are actually kind of close to each other then.
Which,
Okay. Look, if we look at another way, guys, before we possibly just all die, because of this. Oh, no.
okay.
That bodes real well.
When the GM rolls a bunch of dice and then just says, okay.
I think I see initiative for the other kobolds. Damn you, Gok.
I'm okay. I
always
kind of had the
go
situation
off.
under control.
We
I
can
kinda-
always
look.
go off.
I kinda had the situation under control until a dwarf, and it came in through the door. At that point, I had just unlocked it and slightly opened it. I could have slightly closed it and relocked it, and I tried to go over with Meepo, but that didn't work out.
Well, this is, it's a team adventure. We're all writing the story together.
That's what they're gonna put on my tombstone.
Yeah.
He was a
Here
he
lies
was a
Gok
team
Sour
player
Gut.
until we killed him.
Decisions were made. Okay, so Ratul, back to Ratul. You have a couple options here. What would you like to do with the rest of your turn here?
Well, since the fact that Yin Yang's not saying anything to me, even though I accused him of something, and Gok, I cannot tell what is going on with him. Do I see a figure? I'm gonna go over to Gok to see what the hell's going on with him and make sure he's alright.
Okay.
My bad. I didn't even think to let y'all know as I was running by. I woke him up and just kept going.
Well, you may not have noticed him leaning up against the bars there at the moment. So you have 10 feet left, right?
Let's see here. I was here, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. No, I would have to dash.
Well, you were here, so 5, 10, 15, 20 to where you are, so you should have 10 feet left, right?
Well, no, there's a table in the way.
Well, you went 5, 10, 15, 20. That's cool. You can go diagonal there. You took a 5-foot step and then ran diagonal. You can get there in 20 feet. So you got 10 left.
Alright then, I'll head over to Gok to make sure to see what the figure is that's next to him.
Okay. So you could get to here. Yep. Go ahead and roll another perception check as you get closer. You are within reach of Meepo now, by the way.
Noted.
Okay.
Okay, that 12 will be good enough from where you are. You do see that the jail cell door is slightly ajar. Gotta say that 10 times fast. And you still can't quite recognize that it's Brasnic in there, but you do see that the door is ajar. And you guys all did know that there were. You guys all noted that there were goblins in there before, but you.
Yeah, no, I'm going to go ahead and yell, Gok, what are you doing? Get away from that door!
Okay. Can I give some input on this?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. I'm going to yell back at Ratul. Because Gok thought of this on the fly. Because he realized this is a really bad situation, and the orc could probably snap him like a Kit Kat bar right now.
Yummy!
Yeah. Except it would be like the gooey insides instead of the nice, caramely, kind of crunchy feeling of it.
There is no cookie crunch.
No!
He's going to go. I did this to save our dwarven friend from the bar. He was being tortured by these disgusting kobolds. I'm gonna, because I mean, you know what? Fuck it at this point. It's
Okay.
I tried to be okay. Look, I tried to be okay with me.
Roll a deception check, sir.
Okay.
Would I have to roll it would it be my passive or an active insight check against deception?
Roll an insight check.
Okay, do I need to do insight as well? Because I just came around the corner. I mean, I hear him telling this.
If you are distrustful of your goblin comrade here, then go ahead and do that, sir.
No, I mean, I did say Gok did something stupid.
You did, sir. But his deception is quite good in the moment. You believe that he's actually just trying to rescue Brasnic here.
What about me?
Ratul, I would say meets it, beats it in this case. You feel like, I mean, his story is very convincing. But you just, something in your gut is telling you that Mr. Gut is not being entirely truthful about the scenario here.
Wait a minute. Since our friendly neighborhood dwarf is charmed, can I just tell him, back me up here right now, man?
Yeah.
I'm going to use my action. Actually, let me just check something real quick.
Are you doing this now? Really? We can't be fighting amongst ourselves?
You don't know what he's gonna do yet.
Okay, true.
Ah, darn, it's towards a hostile creature. Oh dear.
Yeah, see, I knew it.
I'm going to use my action to dash.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay. And what are you gonna do when you get there?
I'm just going to tower over Gok and just look at him with the biggest glare I have.
Okay.
You know?
Alright, is that the end of your turn, sir?
Yes, since I'm still not close enough to look inside the cage cell, since there's still a bit of wall between me and there.
I would say you're close enough now to see that it is, in fact, the dwarven ally that you previously met. You're only 5 feet away, and he is right in the doorway.
I'm gonna tell Ratul in the bravest way that I can. I told you so.
And then he pees a little.
And then I probably just, my soul dies slowly. Just,
At 16, Neepa continues to run down the hallway, saying, "He's gonna eat me!" as he disappears into the throne room.
okay.
In the next moment, you hear commotion starting up from said throne room. At 8, Gok, you are in a predicament here.
No, I think it's, just like, it's a nice Cheerio day, tea and crumpets, just, like, man, I'm gonna have, like, a taco afterwards kind of thing with my lazy boy. Oh boy. Okay. Well.
All right.
Okay. I have to say, first off, let's see, how long does this thing... It's up until my next turn. So, after this turn, Brasnic will hopefully be not charmed. Didn't even mean for him to get charmed. Okay. Okay.
He is charmed. So that is going to limit what he does. He's still going to have a turn this round. But he will have to make that turn with the charm in mind.
I feel like could I command Brasnic to do something?
I mean, he's going to treat you like a trusted friend and ally, so you could suggest something that seems like a good idea.
Great, he's the only person that won't want to strangle me in this situation.
He's literally the only person in the room that is on your side right at the moment.
At the moment, I believe that you were just trying to free Brasnic, but I'll determine that when I see if Brasnic is true.
It's true. This is a true statement. Brasnic, you do have one
perspective. That's all he knows he did.
Yeah. I was just going to say, Brasnic, you do have 1 point of exhaustion from the harassment of the goblins since your incarceration. So you do have a disadvantage on all of your ability checks.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I'm gonna use a free action to tell Brasnic kind of like the layout of where, the, what looks like beyond this door. I'm gonna tell him to go to the right as fast as his little dwarven legs can take him. Just go to the right side. And actually, do I see the goblins? Roll perception for that?
Well, you know those goblins are in there, and you saw the one get kind of body checked into the corner from Brasnic making his entrance.
Okay. I'm also gonna tell them, it's like, my fellow green-skinned brothers, go to the right! Go to the right, there's an exit. Just go.
Okay.
And I'll tell Brasnic that as well. Just go to the right side and kind of like follow me, guys. And I'm going
to be doing this in front of Ratul.
Yes.
Well, I said the stuff with Brasnic, and might as well Because I'm pretty sure the situation is already pretty screwed. So I'm trying to salvage this as best as I can.
So to be clear, you're trying to step out of the way and open the door and say run to freedom sort of a thing?
I'm saying run to freedom to the right side. Yes.
Okay. So are you going to step out of the way in the doorway there?
I was gonna go over to here, honestly.
Oh, so you're leading the charge to freedom.
I said follow me. I'm going to be like kind of over by this doorway. You know. Otherwise,
Okay.
yeah. I'm going to
As this is going on, you guys do hear an alarm being raised.
Yeah, I know. I know. It's pretty bad. Okay. Gonna be in this door. Shucks. Can I prepare an action? Just like prepare something?
So, yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna sit in this doorway. I'm gonna prepare.
As the
I'm gonna
Goblin
make sure that
Warlock
I'm gonna
gives
show
his
my stuff.
Braveheart speech. You may have your lives, but they may never have your freedom! As he leads the charge. What are you going to prepare for your action?
Okay. I am going to prepare. Going to prepare Toll the Dead. Just in case there's kobolds that get over to here.
Oh
Like
gosh.
really fast.
You're asking for trouble, aren't you? Okay. Is that the end of your turn, sir?
Look, if they don't shoot us, I won't use it. But if they're hostile and trying to attack us, then I'm going to, going to help defend the area here. But yeah, that's my turn.
Okay. So on 5, everything that happens next is all going to happen at once. So why don't you go ahead and tell me what it is that you would like to do, Mr. Grindstone?
I'm gonna step out of the just like literally on the opposite side of the door. Not opposite side, but be out of the actual cell. But then yell to Gok that you can't trust them. They've been beating on me since I've been here, and they're gonna stab the first person who opened the door. Can't let them out. Your safety, you're in danger. And I'm gonna take the dodge action as I block the way.
Okay, so you're stepping through the doorway?
Yes.
Oh.
The doorway, but I'm blocking the doorway while ready to dodge and weave or whatever. But I don't want to let anybody pass.
Okay. So the door swings out, so in order to be where you are, in order to shut the door again, you would have to 5-foot step somewhere in order to swing the door shut.
Oh, that's right. Okay, I'll do that.
Okay. So you step out of the way, and then you're going to try and slam the door before these goblins can get through?
Yeah. And
Okay.
while saying, hey, they're in danger, they're gonna shake the first person they meet. And they've been beating on me for seems like ages since I came down here. We can't trust them.
Okay. So go ahead and step back in the doorway there. As you're shutting this thing, they're going to be trying to be pushing through. Since there's 2 of them, they are going to get advantage on their strength check, and I would like you to roll a strength check as well.
Can I use athletics?
Yes.
Alright, here comes the disadvantage. $14 at disadvantage.
Ooh. The 16 from their advantage is just slightly stronger. You saw the one that was behind is the one that kind of rushes up. And as he slams his body into the bars, you see the one that you had body checked out of the way kind of run over to support him. And they're able to start inching that door open. It's not quite all the way open, but they are gaining ground on you. In a sense. So this guy is also going to come over next round. Unless you get help, they are basically just going to be able to force the door open with the 3 of them.
I will see that Tool's right next to me and say, hey, help a brother out.
Okay.
With Brasnic.
So, at the start of the round, let me grab these other tokens and
Oh god.
roll some initiatives.
Wait a minute. I just had another ingenious plan that could possibly get everyone out of the situation.
Yeah, this will work for sure.
I think it will. Though, possibly might die from it.
Okay, Alardro, top of the order, sir.
So Alardro was sleeping pretty deep.
You were.
He was woken up rudely, and he hears all this clatter, and he's trying to figure out if he just wants to go back to sleep at this point. So I'm gonna flip a coin. If it's heads, he actually does something. If it's tails, he goes back to sleep.
All right, you're rolling a d4.
Can I do a D2? Let's check.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
ahead.
two.
Roll one
One is
d2.
heads.
Okay, let's see.
He goes to sleep.
Okay. So Yin Yang wakes you up, right? And he says, "Trouble, my large friend." As he goes through the doorway, you kind of like, stir a little bit. You hear that there's some kind of commotion going on out there, and you just hunch back down and just start snoring again. Alardro has no interest in the shenanigans that are afoot here. Okay. You enjoy your rest, sir. I'm just going to guarantee you the long rest for that move right there, no matter how long of a sleep you get right now.
I just thought that's exactly what the character would do. He'd be like,
It is perfect.
I've had a long day. I just want to.
You have.
Shucks. Okay.
So, at 20.16, we have a Yin Yang. What would you use? So, okay. So you came around the corner, and you believed all the shit that Gok was saying. But then all of a sudden you see Brasnic coming out, and he's like, no, there's some fucking bullshit afoot. And you see Gok running away like, follow me to freedom!
Gok, you moronic idiot! If you wanted him free, we could have just talked to the kobolds. But now I'm seeing him run away, and Brasnic was clearly charmed.
Wait, does he notice that?
Yeah, I was about to say, do
I've
I
never
notice?
exactly been nice to you, but right now I'm shouting, "You're in danger! I won't let them get you!"
Okay, yeah, then that's not right. And Gok is running away, so
Hold on,
I'm
how
gonna
would you
think-
know that he was under the charm effect? Would you?
I'm not gonna know
would
he's
your-
charmed. I'm just gonna know
He-
something's not right.
He
and Gok
just
is
knows
vexing him
that
'cause he's not
Brasnic
acting
is being protective of Gok, which is in itself weird. So.
I mean, we hung out for a couple days inside the bar, and then we determined that obviously Brasnic and him didn't get along, and now he's like, "Oh, you're my best bud." Something ain't right here.
Well, we didn't. It's not like we didn't get along. It's like it's.
It's-
I'm green.
It's
and
a
he has
dwarf goblin relationship. I mean, how
Yeah.
well is that gonna go?
He hasn't known me yet. Although this is a pretty bad impression. For
You don't
knowing
know me.
Yeah. Don't know me.
All right. So, what would you like to do, sir?
You know what? I'm gonna ask. What kind of roll do you think I should make for this? Because I obviously know something's not wrong. I know Gok was in our party. I now know Brasnic is not acting characteristically like himself.
I mean, if you want to, you could roll like insight with advantage, but I feel like this scene kind of played itself out well enough that you got the gist of what's happening right now.
Yeah, hear the alarm go off. He's telling the goblins to free. Okay, yep.
Yeah. I mean, you probably don't necessarily know that Brasnic has been charmed, but you know that it's not exactly what it first appeared to be when he came around the corner. So.
And then he just started bolting, trying to get past me.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm grabbing his ass.
Okay, go ahead and roll. I would say acrobatics or athletics, your choice.
Oh.
Oh, well, shit.
Well, I'm not really that acrobatic.
Well, you got to roll to see if I guess I get you acrobatics or athletics.
Yeah, basically, unless you
I'm not using
roll.
athletics. So.
Yeah, you're
Oh
fine.
my god!
You're fine. I was going to say, just because it's a 9, which is generally not a success, unless he rolled an auto 1, he would have missed you. So you do make a snag for Gok Sour Gut, but he is just nimble enough to evade your grasp. Gok, you are aware that he did try to grab you.
I'm gonna say.
I'm gonna cut him off.
Oh shit. Okay.
Doc, stop.
Okay.
And I guess that'll be my turn.
Yep. I think that would be the end of your turn on that one, sir.
Wait, could I fill in Yin Yang when I'm thinking of right now?
I mean, can he respond, I guess?
Quickly, yeah.
Yeah, because again, this goes into the idea that I kind of had.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell Yin Yang with a straight face. Okay. I know you are mad at me right now, and you are completely justified in thinking so. I'm going to need you to help me with something. I know you don't, but I think you'll like it. I need you to break both of my arms and my teeth. Need you to knock all my teeth out of my face. And I'm gonna tap my teeth with my little goblin hand.
Okay, and that'll be the end of that turn.
I'm gonna explain more when it's my turn. But I'm just gonna...
At 20, Red Tool, you see these goblins piling up against this kind of rusted iron cell door. As they are pushing against it, you see Brasnic slowly losing ground as the third one, and then the fourth pile in, you see that he is definitely about to lose this battle.
Yep, no, I'm going to go ahead, push Brasnic to the side as I just basically bar the door with my giant body.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, you could even do that over him just because of the size difference. But either way, yeah, definitely you guys are able to bar the
We'll say
door.
this is me going over him.
Yeah, that's perfect. And then go ahead and roll another one of those athletics or strength checks, however you prefer, with advantage.
Brasnic or I would?
It's your turn. I'll go ahead and let you do that.
Alrighty.
16.
Not really my best roll, but 16.
Okay, well, let's hold on to that number, and we will remember that when it gets around to those goblins. Hold on one second. Okay, so, and that's going to be the end of your turn for now. At 16, Meepo is definitely telling his story to anyone who wants to listen of woe and fear and terror of the goblin invader that has turned on all of the kobolds. Treachery is afoot, and he clearly wants to eat him. That's what's being told, anyway.
Okay, one of those things is a lie. The eating part. Everything else is pretty much completely honest.
Okay. So, at 11, this guy. So that is going to be 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. You guys out there see this draconian face come around the corner as he's holding up a... It looks like he's got a dagger in one hand and a sling in the other. As he comes around the corner, you see him kind of swinging the sling around. Behind him, well, you hear the sounds of more. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25.
Oh.
15, 20, 25, 30. 15, 20, 25, and 30. The others of you in the hallway still, as you're bracing the door, you see these 3 kobolds come racing out of the doorway. They also have a sling and a dagger. in each hand. As they come running up, they are holding them out menacingly towards you. A little bit more so towards the dwarf because he was previously a prisoner. None of them are attacking just yet, but they are very hostile at the moment.
Okay.
Gok.
Okay. How can I make it in a way? How can I make it look like in a way that Yin Yang is, like he's fighting me right now?
Oh no, I'm definitely looking down at you pissed off. If they look at me at all, they can definitely tell I'm like, no.
Okay.
This has gone so far south.
I'm gonna break my own arm. I'm gonna break my own arm and slam into the back of this wall.
Okay, here's the deal. I think if he were to do that, he has to at least make a save to have the willpower to do that.
Yeah, and you would, I mean, they see you now, so any actions you take at this point, they're going to witness.
Okay. Okay. So... Huh. Okay. Well, you're not making this very easy for me, are you? Right now.
I'm just responding to what's happening here.
Yeah, I know.
Not making this easy for me. I mean, you did this to yourself.
It's true. It's true.
You keep quiet out of this.
While you ponder the options, I'm going to take a 2-second break here.
I was doing fine, Quinn, until you came in there with your big dwarven beard, out making it seem like I wanted to eat Meepo.
They were going to shank you. Even before I got charmed, I was still trying to help whoever was.
No, not the goblin. Not the goblins. I'm talking about like the situation with Meepo. I don't want him to die. At the same time, I saw an opportunity. It was not a good opportunity, though, considering that's the thing I was thinking of. Kind of wanted to stab the shit out of people, but you know, Okay. I still don't. Okay, I've got to figure out what to do. Sorry. Okay. Can I somehow make it look like that Yin Yang has punched me? DM.
I think he said he was grabbing the pizza while you were pondering.
Oh. Okay. I just, there's only so many things I can think of right now. How to do this.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry about that.
Okay. Indigo.
Yes.
Is there any way I can make it look like Yin Yang has punched me? At all?
Yeah. Go ahead and roll a deception.
Okay. Gonna have to kinda...
Is Yin Yang playing along with this? Are you gonna
I mean,
say anything to him? Like, play along with this, or...
I mean, I was trying to. I thought I'd have a little bit more time, but I guess I'm gonna have to try to, tell him to play along with this now.
Okay. Are you gonna be cooperative, Yin Yang?
I mean, I don't see why not,
Yin Yang?
honestly.
I'm sorry, what?
Are you gonna be cooperative in the goblin's effort to act like you just punched him in the face?
Oh my god. Really?
This is gonna be the difference in advantage or disadvantage. as he thinks of
I
it.
mean, I was really just going to try to restrain him and give him to the kobolds. I mean, we met pretty much 2 or 3 days ago, and he's now putting everybody's lives at risk. I'm just trying to catch him so that we can give him potentially away so that we don't die. Because I'm half dead.
So, Gok, go ahead and roll that with disadvantage.
Yeah, I kind of thought so.
Mm-hmm. He is not playing along with your ploy.
No, he's not. Okay. Dang, but it would've...
It would have been cool, guys.
It could have worked. I wanted to save you guys, but okay. They're gonna possibly kill us all. Destroy us all. I don't know. Okay, wait. I need to... Oh, wait. No, it's already has disadvantage. Yeah, there's no button for it. Okay, 13.
A 13. Trying to play off being punched by Yin Yang, who is not being cooperative.
Yeah. Yep.
But
already, you know.
So, my question is, if I give you disadvantage, then I don't get to double down and give these guys advantage, right? Or do I get to do whatever I want because I'm the GM?
I mean, yeah, you can kind of do whatever you want.
Okay.
It would try and make a good story.
Be nice if you didn't give them advantage. Okay.
So one of them does not believe you. Two of them, you know, are like, ah. But this guy in the front here, he saw everything. He is not at all fooled by your act here, and he is now more interested in you and what you're doing.
But if I made it really convincing, like it's like, oh, I staggered, I dropped my staff. It's just got knocked out on my butt right now. Oh. Nothing. No. Okay.
No.
No. Okay.
Okay. So
I'm gonna give myself up. That's it.
Yeah, they definitely are not at all fooled by the act, and with Yin Yang kind of just trying to grab a hold of you and take you into his custody. You're in a tough position for sure. So you're just gonna.
I just want to make sure everybody else gets out.
Okay.
At this point.
So you're just gonna kind of throw your hands up and call it good?
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna screw everybody over for this, and I'm gonna hope I can weasel my way out of this.
Okay. So you kind of, as you just kind of accept your fate, as Yin Yang kind of grabs a hold of your shirt front, you're Gok? What? You kill them all?
I'm gonna slightly whisper under my breath, though. God damn it, Yin Yang.
As you hear your matron kind of screeching in the back of your mind, as per usual, when she is displeased with your decisions.
You know, it might not be that usual pretty soon, depending on what happens next.
Okay, so at 5, we are going to get back to this contested strength check here. The goblins are going to go ahead and roll with advantage as well. You guys had advantage. But the might of Ratul is far too much for these goblins to overcome. In combination with the sturdiness of the dwarf. So they are definitely not able to force that open as the kobolds kind of come up and they see that you guys are holding the door shut. You know, they see the goblins, their hated enemies, you know, so they're kind of taking in what's going on here. But they still have their weapons up and they are kind of training them on the two of you. Brasnic, would you like to do anything at 5?
Now that I'm no longer charmed, because Gok has had his turn, and the effect. There's a quick shake to my head, and then as I guess look to my left and see a kobold. I feel bad because I want to punch him in the face, but I'm defenseless and there's few people here. So.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm gonna continue to hold the door and be like, "Hey, what's wrong with you putting a dwarf in with fucking green skins?" Sorry, they're Rotul. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll hold the action. I'll just dodge. Just if they get violent, I'm dodging.
Speaking of, you definitely see the one in front that had the bone. You can, as you got closer, you realized it was a piece of sharpened bone, and it takes a stab at you with the improvised weapon. It's going to be 2 less than that, so 13 on you.
Did they strip me of my armor or let me stay in my...
They would have, yeah. So,
alright, so then 13 meets.
Okay. So we are going to also strip 2 points off of that damage as well. So 3 points of damage with the improvised weapon there.
Alright.
As you're kind of, standing with your shoulder into the bar, you feel, a sharp jab into your side as the point of the bone stabs into you.
Lock the door already. They're stabbing me through the bars.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my bad.
That's the end of your turn.
Yep.
Oh, you held an action. Did you want to try and... You said you were going to try and dodge or something if they got violent.
Yeah, I was gonna get dodge, but 13 still met my...
Okay.
No, with no armor on, my AC is 13.
Okay. All right. So, you see this other kobold come around the corner. This one definitely looks a lot more menacing than the other ones. He's also got a dagger and a sling, but they have slight bits of armor or other things that designate them as a more elite sort of kobold. 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 50. As you see a couple of others come running around the corner, also holding weapons. Again, they don't seem to be attacking. These ones recognize that the other kobolds here seem to already have this situation in hand, so they don't just outright attack you guys. So at 21, Alardro is still sleeping, snoozing away in his little chamber. At 20.16, Mr. Yin Yang. You have a goblin in hand, sir.
Is he said he hit himself, so did he go prone?
No. No, he just gave himself
okay.
a good punch in the mouth.
I'm going to try to grab him again and restrain him.
Okay, go ahead and do so with advantage since he isn't said he's not resisting at this point.
Well, no, I feel like he just succeed, wouldn't he? Because I'm not resisting.
Yeah, you're right.
So I'm pretty much just going to pin you up against the wall, and I'm going to look back at the kobolds and say, I don't know what's going on. He did this. If he's done anything to you, he's yours.
Okay.
Oh boy.
Well,
I'm dead now.
Thematically, we only met 2 days ago.
I know, but I'm just saying I'm probably gonna die. Because these guys didn't seem to even like me to begin with. And now it did this. So... But then again, That's my own fault because I caused the whole situation.
We may have to see how good of a talker old Gok Sour Gut is here in a minute. Okay, is there anything else you'd like to do on your turn, sir?
Don't
Yin Yang?
forget push talk is on.
I think so. Yeah. Is there anything you want to do, Yin Yang?
I think he is done for the moment anyway, so we're going to go ahead and move on to
Oh
Ratul.
shit! Yeah, sorry, I'm done.
Okay, no problem. Ratul at 20.
Yeah, seeing that Brasnic underneath me is getting stabbed by pointy sticks, I'm just gonna look at the goblins inside. Basically, pull back my lips and let out a full-on orcish roar to put them into submission.
Okay. Yeah, roll that check, sir. Let me find some goblins.
Straight, correct?
Huh?
It'd be a straight roll?
Yeah.
Damn it!
Yeah. Not super intimidating. In the moment, it kind of just adds to the cacophony of the moment. You see the kobolds that are around you kind of look up at you for a second, like, what the fuck is this all about? You know, more what the fuck than fear in the moment. But, you know, your friend just got stabbed. Maybe they think that you're just feeling the moment. Is there anything else you'd like to do, sir?
Nope, that's all I'm going to do, as I'm going to try to reinforce the push against the gates to try to close them into locking again.
Okay. So
would I roll another athletics check?
No, at this point it's well, let's see. Yeah, go ahead and roll that on your side with advantage. And then, depending on what happens with these kobolds, we'll see.
Oh my god,
Wow.
what the hell?
Wow, that's awkward. Okay, that 9. So we'll see. That's actually may become very important. And that's the end of your turn, sir?
Yep, level 1. Oh, so great that we have level 1.
Yeah. Hey, you know, those level 1 adventures are sometimes the memorable ones. So, Meepo is telling his story to Yusdrael of woe and fear and terror of googly-eyed goblins. As he is doing so, these kobolds, you see the elite kobold kind of like nod at the other one, and you see the kobold kind of underhandedly just toss over a set of keys. Let's see how this guy does. 14, that'll be enough. You see this guy catch the set of keys, and at his turn, he'll be able to lock the door. You see the other ones kind of menacing the goblins inside, but not, you know, they've kind of shifted their attention from you guys to the situation of making sure that the goblins are secured. Gok, you are restrained at 8. Is there anything you're going to do to try and improve or change your situation?
Okay.
Otherwise, you're just in custody, and they're going to start walking you and Yin Yang towards the rest of the party.
Okay. I really don't see that many options, honestly.
You could try to
Unless
escape from the ship if you want.
So since they're moving you
No.
guys defensively as a group, I'm only going to move everybody 10 feet.
Okay.
So you guys get moved through there.
Could I somehow BS that I was like under a spell or something?
I mean, you can talk while they're moving you, definitely. At this point, they've got you both.
Will they actually believe it?
For that part, you'll have to roll a persuasion of some sort, sir.
Oh,
Are we
boy.
still following the turn order, or are we doing like out of combat here?
Until the end of this round, it's going to be turn order.
Okay.
Depending on what happens with the soul door here.
I mean, might as well to see if I'll buy.
These guys seem to be kind of stone-faced. They are mostly ignoring the words that are coming out of your mouth. I mean, it would be...
what was the 8? I accidentally double-clicked.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be a disadvantage. So basically, you're just kind of talking. You're doing the prisoner talk of just rambling. They're like police officers that have heard it all and they don't give a shit what you're saying. So.
Well, that's gonna be it.
Yeah, you're pretty much limited at this point. They definitely have you in custody, and are kind of walking you back towards the throne room and your fate with Yusdrael.
Got it.
So the goblins are pushing against this door still. They are going to take another stab at Brasnic here, unless Brasnic would like to try and take a 5-foot step and get out of the way or something. If you want to continue holding the door until the end of the round, you could choose to do that as well.
Well, I'm still dodging from last turn.
Yeah.
Unless we're going exactly at the same time and I have to choose a new action. That
Well,
what we're going?
yeah, you're going at the same time, but it would hold through. That's fine.
Okay. I'm just gonna keep holding the door. They get out.
Okay.
Oh, actually.
Oh.
Oh, that works.
You, as he's stabbing, you kind of shift yourself, and it kind of knocks the attack to the side as he's pulling his hand back. Yeah, 1 second.
It's like someone's touched a 2 hot pizzas.
So I'm sorry, man, but yeah, after meeting you after 2 days, I probably really wouldn't try to help too.
No. Sorry about that.
It's
As the
okay.
goblin is pulling its hand back,
understand.
it actually closes the door, and you hear it click as the lock engages itself. And so that would be at 5. At 4, you see the elite kobold here. He does put the key in and ends up turning it and making sure that it's locked, but it is definitely secured at this point. So we are going to be out of the turn order at that point. So these guys turn to you guys, and what are you gonna do as they raise their weapons up towards you?
Don't the 3 kobolds hear me say that I will gladly release him to your custody? I'm not a part of this.
Yeah.
He did it, and I caught him. If he
Mhm.
broke your laws, he's yours.
Yeah, they heard you.
Literally. So are they still holding their weapons up to me?
Oh yeah.
I'm looking at the kobolds putting their weapons towards me. I'm just gonna look down to them and just growl.
Put those away before I break your arms.
Well, that's not going to help the situation.
I mean,
Yeah,
seriously.
Ratul, buddy. Ratul, buddy, I need you to take it down a knot.
Get the face bomb.
they actually, they regain their hostility towards you a little bit as you say this.
Don't take what he's saying to heart, all right? I know you guys have been ignoring me, but I've been telling you guys the entire time I've been down here that I've been part of a bigger group, and I was scouting out the tunnels before they came down. These are the guys I was talking about. I know one of you out there heard me shouting about this while I was getting beaten up by the goblins.
You see this one here does seem to be kind of a leader of some sort. You see him just point down the hallway. He says, "You move now."
I'll start carrying Gok down the hallway.
Okay, you're gonna kind of assume more of an authoritarian stance with him, like you're helping to catch him. They definitely notice this, but they're still kind of have their weapons on both of you, kind of making sure that, you're both strangers in kobold territory. So at some point,
that's fine.
That is going to come into play.
I'm just not going to resist, and I'll keep a hold of him.
Okay. So they're going to march everyone down the hallway, going towards the west here. So I'm just going to go ahead and reposition tokens to where everybody would be going. And we will go from there. Quick repositioning. Let's see, who else is left? You've pretty much gotten the attention of the whole community here. But I'm not going to bring the whole community in. A couple of the guys are going to be held back on alert. But you are definitely surrounded by a heavy presence, for sure.
Okay, are we being addressed by the leader at the moment?
Yeah, so once again, you guys are in front of Yzdriel. I was sorry about that. I'm got a lot of distractions going on here this evening. Winter storm Maya has hit the Pacific Northwest, and we've been snowed in for days. And I was just getting getting notifications that my daughter doesn't have school tomorrow. So that's
probably because of all the snow.
Y'all stay safe now.
Yeah, well, So you guys do find yourselves in front of Yzdriel again. She sits upon the dragon throne. As she's looks out at you guys.
Does it look like we woke them up?
She just looks generally displeased. Definitely based on what Meepo has said, which, she always takes a grain of salt with that. But she is looking at Gok very, very angrily, looking at Brasnic as well, who up till just recently was a prisoner of hers, and then looking at the other two in the back. She is looking you guys over, and just give me one more second. Okay, sorry about that. She is going to look out at you guys. Say, well, explain yourselves. Make it good.
First off, you put me in with goblins, except for what's his name, Gok over there. I'm not a huge fan of. They've been beating on me the entire time, and I know you heard me hollering about me being part of an advance group. I was scouting out the halls before you threw me in here. These are the guys I was hollering about. And as far as this incident here, the goblins were gonna make a break for it. They had some type of sharpened object, and they were stabbing through the bars. I was able to check one out of the way so no one got out, but they were on the verge of escaping, and somebody would have died.
And
If
I'll
he's
come
a
in
fast
behind.
talker, is it fast enough?
What?
I said he's a fast talker, but is he fast enough?
Well, at that point, as he finishes up, I'm gonna come forward with Gok and be like, "I'm gonna tell you the same thing I told the other three. We were sleeping. I woke up to the ruckus, came around, saw what was going on. This Brasnic here is definitely our compatriot. We were actually wondering what had happened. We sent him in forward, and we didn't hear back from him. Henceforth, why we're also here. Afraid we didn't see him in the darkness of the cell before. However, our little friend here apparently took it upon himself to try and free some of his own kind. If he broke your laws, he's yours. I have no part of what he did. None of us actually do, and as you can see, we tried to actually salvage the situation. We stopped your captives from getting away. The three back here, including your elite guard there, overheard me explain that the very same thing I've told you. This is all him and solely him.
Anyone else? She looks over towards Gok. What Meepo has said is that you were letting them out.
What?
This is not true.
Oh, sorry. Oh. I didn't hear it. You kind of cut out. Sorry.
What Meepo has said is that you were letting them out. He says you were at the cage. The door popped open as he was approaching you. Is this a lie? He is not known to lie.
Well, first off, I'm going to say I wasn't trying to eat him. That's pretty uncivilized.
Well,
Second,
this part of the story I did disregard.
right. Second, I was trying to help out a friend that kind of saved me. Earlier from his own kind. It wasn't the goblins, really. It was the dwarf here. However, I feel like I've already betrayed that trust that was with him. And ma'am, I'm really not that charismatic. So, and some have even said I'm a bit impulsive. But well, I just wanted to return the favor. And if you want to kill me, do it now. I already know that a goblin can't get to where he wants to be. And I may have been a bit too ambitious.
Wanting to save a friend is admirable. Not sure I believe every word you speak, Goblin, but I know you're not of this tribe. I'm not sure if you would risk your life to save these. They're prisoners. I understood they mistreated you while you were a guest. She looks over towards Brasnic.
Right. They're... Again, most of the time, dwarves and goblins don't get along. Gok over there is an exception. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt because he came recommended by some others. But yeah, the ones in the cell with me, nah. They were sitting there beating on poor old Brasnic the entire time you had me in there.
Those creatures are little more than animals. I apologize that my guards have treated you so poorly. Last time we had visitors here, well, not everyone lives in these tunnels. Not many venture here for good reason. I feel like this should be the last conversation we have before you find our dragon and return her to us. If I see you all again, well, you've seen the food room where we keep the meals for Calcrix. We'd hate to lock you in there. If you understand my meaning. And she looks at all of you in turn.
Crystal clear.
I just nod.
I give a small grunt.
Oh, so since we're leaving, you mind if I get my gear back?
She does kind of snap her gaze back to you a little bit. Like, patience is running thin as her eyes narrow. So be it. Go. All of you.
I'll let Gok go onto the ground and look at him and smile like, you are one lucky son of a bitch. And turn
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yeah, no,
I
I'm
think that
gonna
was Cindergo taking pity on me, but thank God. Okay.
yeah, no, I'm gonna be go ahead and grabbing Gok's arm and just dragging him along.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's pretty fair. So that's
Alright. So you see these kobolds step aside.
Which was kind of a pain in the ass. Sorry, did she notice I wasn't there?
that's a good question, actually.
Well, you guys don't know. I mean,
And
Okay.
used your
wasn't
LCs
there.
all, but you don't know. Oops.
Okay, teleported.
That was a group move. So,
Yeah,
I'm just moving
with some
everybody
other
back down to the dragon chamber. Everybody is going to be back in here.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to drag Gok all the way over by the cage and toss him in through the busted open opening.
Okay.
Well, okay, let me,
You see these kobolds returning to their assigned posts.
Then I'm going to sit down in front of the busted opening with my back towards it and basically close it off with my giant back.
Oops.
oh.
Okay. He does not trust you, Gok.
I think that's pretty fair considering what just happened. So, I mean, I'm not complaining. I mean, you know, Gok, the character's complaining, but Gok, the player, is not complaining. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
God, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Honestly, just you know, I'm not gonna push a giant muscly orc, and I'm you know, he's just gonna sit there. I'm just gonna.
Okay.
a word of
Uh,
advice, Gok. You're in a group. Don't do stupid shit by yourself that's gonna get us all killed.
Oh, look who's
You were
talk-
lucky to walk away from this one. But if you put the rest of our lives at risk again, we will leave you behind, or worse. And I'm gonna turn around and go back to bed.
Okay. Now I'm gonna say this is the player. That is the last person I want to tell me that.
Yeah, no, Retro is going to mutter underneath his breath, said the pot to the kettle.
What? No, I said that as the player.
No, Ratul is saying underneath his breath once Yin Yang's done talking.
Oh, got it.
You know, decisions are being made as we go. It's a party adventure.
We're learning.
Okay, I know. Although I will, I don't know if Brasnic can hear me. I'm gonna tell him before I go to bed. You know, I don't care if you believe me or not, but that was probably the first time I actually told the truth about anything. And thank you for not killing me. And then I'm gonna go to bed. I don't know if he hears it or not. I don't know.
Nah,
Okay.
Brandis is like by the table, passed out because he hasn't gotten a wink of sleep for a while. It's probably the only goblins are gonna be poking and punching me while I try to sleep. So just like we get into the room, you guys throw him in there, and I like lay down on the table and just pass out.
Yeah, he basically
So I just said
just.
that when it's like, you know, all this.
No,
blah,
you
blah,
you
blah.
say all of that. You're like leaning up against the bars, and you're like giving this like heartfelt, you know, I've analyzed my mistakes moment. And as you get done with your speech, you hear a
Yeah.
as Brasnic
Yeah.
is passed out on the altar.
Ratul is going to mutter his breath as he turns his head towards Gok in the corner.
I'm gonna be asleep at this time.
You got lucky tonight. Try that again. It's not the kobolds you're going to have to worry about.
And Ratul hears like a snore. It's like. But you know, it kind of you kind of see like the air kind of leaving. Like he's kind of slumped over the corner of this cage.
As Ratul just sort of settles him down for continuing his long night's rest.
By the way, before we complete this, if we do, did Meepo come back with us?
He
We
did.
still need
did.
him.
I was just about to get into that. He actually came back, and he much more warily is kind of studying you guys. He sees that Gok is in the dragon cage under the protection of Ratul, or stewardship, we should say, maybe. So he's a little mollified, but you see that he's kind of like, he goes to his bedroll and he wraps himself up, but you can see his draconic face kind of peeking out and his eyes kind of just wide and blinking as he's kind of studying the party that's still in the room there. But he did come back. The kobold guards brought Brasnic his gear, which they kind of just piled up next to the altar as he immediately passed out upon being freed. And then nothing else is going to happen. So, you guys are going to get the benefit of a full rest. I'm sorry.
Okay, as I'm coming back in the room, I'm gonna see Alardro still there sleeping, and already angry with Gok. I'm gonna be like, "Thanks, you were a big help." Gok almost got us killed.
That's so rude. Okay.
Well, I mean, to be fair, he kind of didn't do anything. He was a non-participant in all of it.
I'll apologize in the morning. Gok done pissed me off.
He's just angry. Okay. So.
He's angry.
I was
super
I was
hangry.
the only one that was half dead out of the entire party, so I was already beat to shit, and you made all this happen.
Again, completely understandable, because a lot of things did not go the way they needed to go. In my head.
Well, Brasnic being a prisoner in there as well was your saving grace. It's much more reasonable if you're trying to rescue a friend than just a bunch of goblins being in there.
Yeah, if Brasnic hadn't come back this game, that would have just gone bad from the start.
Yeah, this would have been an entirely different situation.
You might have been re-rolling.
To be fair, I was actually we were gonna have another friend join us tonight. Sadly, he had a family emergency he had to take care of. But he probably actually will be joining us in the future. We'll see how that plays out. But I was gonna start him in the Goblin pen for you guys to rescue, but Brasnic came back tonight, and it all just kind of worked out. So it's all cool. We definitely still have some time left here tonight, so I mean we can definitely keep going. I thought it would be pretty funny to go through all of that anyway. I didn't know what the repercussions of Gok's decision would be, but well, it all
Oh no,
out.
that was great. That made amazing story.
it all worked out. So
You managed to salvage a very, very precarious
I'm
situation.
the only one who failed the charm.
That is actually amazing. I thought the goblins and the kobold fail it, not the dwarf.
And the funniest part about it is,
to it. And then the two things that have like reductions to it.
Yeah.
Alright,
but I do think it's funny that the only thing that tipped me off was because you were acting so friendly towards Gok. If it hadn't been that, I believed his lie.
yeah.
So the
Which turned out to be truth.
the next morning, or I suppose it would be, we'll say pretty early. Since that was interrupted, obviously you guys would have to start over, everybody except for Alardro, with your rest. So we'll say, it's pretty early in the morning. It's going to be like 4 o'clock in the morning or so. You see Meepo's actually already out of bed. You see he is kind of rummaging around on the altar, the part where Brasnic isn't, and you see him kind of arranging some meager foodstuffs along the table there. As you guys start waking up and coming to the day, you guys gonna check out what he's putting out for you?
I'm gonna immediately hop into my armor.
For me, like picking him out spells for the day.
Okay.
Did that include my picking out spells for the day?
Yeah. Any benefit you guys are gonna get from a long rest? Any new spells, refreshing of hit points, all of the above.
Have your hit dice back as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only
I'm
get
gonna-
one still.
Gonna put all my gear back on quickly, don my armor and all that stuff, and then I guess
I wake up first.
check out.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Assume I wake up first.
Yeah, Alardro, you're
Alardro
already
is
up.
definitely going to wake up, a couple hours before everybody else.
I'm gonna see that Yin Yang's still asleep. I'm gonna try and leave this room and enter the hall.
Okay. You're not going to wake him up and be rude?
No. I'm gonna just keep walking, and I'll see that Brasnic is with us again, and I'm gonna be like, I have like a little bit of scruff, and so I like stroke my beard. It's like, I wonder what that's all about.
Okay.
I'm gonna go, and Meepo's up at this point, or is he also asleep?
Meepo would still be kind of silently sleeping. When you first get up, a little bit after you get up, as the other kobolds kind of come in with some, you see a couple of guards come in with some breakfast items. You see Meepo kind of get up with them, and as he grabs them, and that's when he goes to start arranging items. If you want to check it out, what he's doing, you could definitely do that.
I would.
I'm gonna give him a friendly, like weird wave, which is just like wiggling my finger.
Okay.
This, hello, good morning. I hope everything is.
Okay. He's kind of looks over at you, and he seems to be less wary of you. He kind of smiles a little bit, and he says, "Hello." Ready for breakfast?
Yes. Thank you for.
Meepo got yummy bites. As he's like moving stuff around on the altar.
Is everyone else up, or is he the only person who's up?
Yeah, you see everyone starting to kind of wake up a little bit. Gok's waking up in the cage there. Rotul's kind of coming around the corner. Brasnic gets up and starts going through his gear, making sure everything's still there, and putting his armor back on and whatnot.
I'm gonna try and have everyone come to me. I'm gonna try and get everyone's attention.
Okay.
Everyone, I have something for you.
Mm-hmm.
I'll hold out my big hand, and there's gonna be 6 berries there.
Good berries.
Okay.
Berries?
And I say, these are very special berries. Each of you take one. And if you're really hurt, it can help you just a little bit. And if you're hungry, it will feed you for a full day. But they're only good until tonight.
Okay. As you say that, Meepo says, "Oh, speaking of hungry, we brought you yummy bites." As he kind of grandly gestures towards the top of the altar. As you guys look
And
over,
what do we see?
you see what looks to be some sort of ball of meat and pastry of some sort. You see a few of those kind of set aside on this. It's almost like a broken piece of masonry. It's kind of made into a platter, semi-scrubbed clean. You also see what looks to be something like cheese. It's kind of an off-white color with the little spots of darkness here and there. And you see something that looks like some sort of a reddish liquid in some kind of broken, chipped, and older cups.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but will we know if their diet is mostly carnivorous?
I don't know if any of you have any kind of draconian.
No, I don't think any of us do. That was kind of a problem earlier.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
I'm gonna assume it looking at their maw.
Can I do a nature check to try and determine what type of food this is?
Yeah, of course.
It would be nature, correct?
Yeah.
Or would it be survival?
Either one of those, probably. Okay. Yeah, you can't really. I mean, you can tell it's food. Ish.
Yeah.
I kind of was gonna give it a whiff. What does it smell like? Does it smell like it's raw?
The meat does look like it's been cooked. As you kind of look closer, not necessarily the freshest of meats. It does look like it's been cooked. The pastry looks like it's mostly cooked through, but it's kind of got that, wet dough quality a little bit as well.
I appreciate it, Meepo, but you need your energy more than we do. You're our guide. You gotta concentrate more. And I'll take one of the good beers.
I take some of the meat, the cheese, and one of the cups of, I presume, wine.
Okay.
I take some stuff too.
Okay.
if that's possible.
Yeah. You see Meepo grab some. He says, "Oh, they're enough for everybody. Yummy bites." As he grabs.
How many of you guys take good berries? Because there's enough for each of us to take one.
I'll take one and then give Meepo's yummy bites a shot. I've eaten worse in the city guard.
Okay.
I also come from a dwarven settlement. You don't want to eat dwarven hardtack, so if you're not a dwarf, so it can't be that much.
Okay. So everybody that takes a good berry, go ahead and mark that down.
No,
I mean, I went ahead and ate mine for the day.
or you can just hold on to it until you're needing that 1 HP.
I'm holding off on the good berry just because there's food, there's raw meat in front of me, so I'd rather take the protein.
Okay.
Yeah, take the food from me too. I'm not eating the good berry yet.
Okay. So yeah, definitely. Yin Yang, you are going to be full for the day. You don't have to worry about eating or anything for the rest of the day. Those of you that took the berry and didn't eat it, go ahead and mark that down that you have one.
I give one to Meepo as well.
Okay. You see, he's got like one hand full, with the big ball of the
I also remind
dough
him not,
substance. I'm sorry, what?
I also remind him not to eat it immediately and wait for later to eat it. So if he's hurt at all, to eat it.
Okay. So he takes a big bite of his meatball and takes a drink of his wine. As you're handing it over, he kind of sets his cup down and he grabs it and he looks at it as he's chewing a little bit. Sniffs it a little bit. Looks down at his meatball, looks back at the good berry, looks at his meatball, takes a bite of the meatball and throws the good berry over his shoulder. Isn't it? I like mine.
Oh no, this is for later. If you're hurt, it will make you feel better.
He rubs his belly.
So,
Go ahead.
I was going to ask, what is the meat, the cheese, and the red liquid like?
Everybody, so Brasnic, Ratul, and Gok are going to partake. Is Alardro going to have some?
He's just gonna eat the. Actually, he's not gonna eat any of it. He's gonna eat a good berry.
Okay. So you are good for food as well for the day. The texture of it, like the meat part, is definitely greasy. The meat itself kind of has that taste when you buy something on discount at the supermarket and you know that you got to cook it that day. It's kind of got that going on.
It's got
boy.
Yeah, the bread itself, I mean, it's almost palatable, but again, it's almost a little bit undercooked as far as the baked quality of it. The cheese itself, it smells terrible. It tastes worse. Definitely on the stinky cheese side of things.
I've had worse.
Yeah. The wine is actually, for dungeon wine, it's not terrible, but, it definitely wouldn't pass any common ale house or anything like that.
Wait, hold on a second. Is dungeon wine the same as prison wine?
Something like that, yes. Unless you're in Elven Citadel or something, but...
Well, I'm just saying,
Sadly,
it's called a dungeon.
this is Cobalt Brew, so... So, everyone that did partake, go ahead and roll a Constitution check.
Oh boy, this is the fun part.
Brasnic, you are no longer exhausted.
Does this have to deal with any type of poisonous effects? Because I am a dwarf. Do I get advantage?
You do get advantage, sir.
Cool.
Oh boy.
Good God.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, I'm probably gonna do worse because my constitution isn't too good. Wait, is it a? No, it's this.
Watch him get the high. Oh no.
Oh,
No. Oh, okay. It was better, but it wasn't that good.
still not great.
Still not
What's
good.
with the double rolls tonight? It's so weird.
I don't know, honestly.
I haven't had to roll.
It's almost
very
like all the nat ones from the first game.
much. Well, it's also last week. Or 2 weeks ago, I got all those nat ones. You guys remember?
Yeah.
So.
Oh no, that might be what I'm recalling.
I think so.
Okay, so Ratul, you just go to town on this. This is like a feast for you right now. As you see Alardro and Yin Yang kind of passing on their servings, you're actually reaching for it and fuck yeah, man, this is my jam right now. Gok, you you're able to eat it. You're gagging a lot as you're eating. It's like, whoa, and like you're a goblin. You've eaten some pretty nasty stuff. So, I was actually going to give you advantage as well, but for some reason, advantage isn't working tonight.
No.
So you do manage to keep it down, just barely. I mean, you're gagging a lot more, which is awkward for a goblin. Brasnic, dude, you're just coming out of this torture situation. You were totally exhausted. Your stomach, your constitution is just not up to this challenge this morning. As you start, you dive in because you're hungry. You haven't eaten in a couple days. As you've taken a few bites of the meat roll and you start getting into the cheese, like that first bite of cheese, after you take the first bite, as you're pulling it away is actually when the smell hits you. You've already got this cheese in your mouth as the smell hits, and the rest of you guys see this dwarf who's got, kind of a nice complexion to him. He just completely turns pale first and then slightly green as he projectile vomits all across the top of the altar. Everything that he's consumed and then some.
Oh, dear God.
I'm from the back yelling, I told you!
So...
I told you, I'm sorry, I said the wrong thing. I knew it because I didn't say anything when I walked away.
I just shrug and just keep going to town on the really stinky cheese.
It was goblin meat, right?
Are you still not quite sure what kind of meat it is? But... So I'm not seeing... Is there a rule just for...
Cannibalism?
General sickness?
Yeah.
I mean, there is a poison effect, as far as I'm aware.
No, we're just gonna say, it's disadvantage on attack and ability checks.
Oh.
No, we're just gonna say that the result of that was the projectile vomiting and not getting breakfast today. You do have a good berry though, sir, which would probably make you feel a lot better.
Also, I'm gonna go collect the one Meepo threw away.
Okay.
I gotta hold the practicality, even though I'm probably still am a rogue. So I'm gonna hold off on eating the good berry until I need it.
Okay. So you kind of wipe your chin, not feeling at all refreshed from the breakfast. Kind of threw up on the rest of what was left on there. Probably turning off most of the party except for maybe Red Tool. Might eat it with the vomit anyway. Who cares?
Again, I've had worse.
Yeah.
It's true. So,
by the way, while they're eating, I'm gonna come up to Alardro and be like, I'm sorry about last night, man. I was a little angry coming back. Now I got some rest. I'm a lot better. I apologize for my outburst. I didn't mean to be so rude trying to wake you up. But yeah, got kind of really made a bad situation, and we all barely walked away alive, probably. More so him, but still.
I'm very confused. You woke me up and I was really tired, so I just went back. I woke up this morning. Everything's okay, right?
Not entirely. Your little friend over there decided to try to free Brasnic here and his little goblin friends and got caught. The only reason he's alive is because the Queen took mercy on him for trying to save a friend. I'm kind of not sure that's entirely true, but at the same time, we got him back, so I'll just leave it at that. But he almost got us all killed.
Alardro kind of put pieces of everything together at that point. It's like, oh, sorry I didn't help out last night. I was really exhausted.
It's fine. I'm just apologizing for coming in there and being a bit unwieldy.
I accept your apology, but there was nothing to really apologize for.
Yeah, I was a dick. I can at least admit that.
Thank you for apologizing.
All right, and I guess breakfast is wrapping up now, so
Yeah.
if we're ready to move forward.
All right. So you guys have a chance to kind of discuss the night before some of the events, catch up Alardro on shenanigans, I guess is probably the best word.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Okay. So as you guys are wrapping up, Meepo kind of looks disappointedly at Brasnic for throwing up all over his beautiful breakfast. But he is ready to lead the way on as he, you guys kind of gather up all of your stuff, make sure everything's ready to go, and you have all your equipment and everything. And he says, "Okay, we gotta go this way." You see him kind of lead, pointing you towards this doorway that's up and over here. You guys all gonna follow along?
Yep, but before I do, I turn my head back towards Gok and just give him a little warning.
Watch your step.
Okay. So what kind of a marching order are we gonna get into here?
I'm gonna be behind Gok at all times, keeping an eye on him. So I'll walk behind him and probably put him between me and Ratul if possible. Brasnic can do it as he wishes. He wants to. I'm just gonna be keeping an eye on Gok.
I'll be at the front.
I think I'll be on the way back. I'll be our rear.
Okay.
I guess I really have no choice but being between,
I'll stick in the back.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay. I'll stay in the way back. And I have a torch. You gave me torch vision. I'm assuming to use a torch when we get into area.
Yeah.
I have 10 torches. You can just give an arbitrary amount of it's at 2 hours per torch, or is it 1 torch?
Probably 2 hours. That's
Okay.
a good number.
So tell me when I've reached 2 hours of torch limit, and I can keep knocking those off.
Yeah, I think you burned one so far. That's fine.
Okay, so I got 9 left.
I'm not gonna super stress about it, sir. All right, so you guys find yourself in a narrow hallway. As you are all kind of filing in, you see Meepo kind of standing up at the corner. Kind of, stops and turns back and looks towards you guys and raises up a scaly finger. Says, "Shh. Wait, are you gonna go? The back way? Other way full of traps." Meepo not really go this way very often, though. So...
Didn't you just say this was the way to go?
Yeah. This way, the back way, like I said. But Meepo, the Dragon Keeper, my job's stay and take care of Dragon. I don't really go explore that often. But we go?
Yes.
We go.
So he heads off.
Alright.
Okay. As you guys get around the corner, you see an extended hallway. It widens out a little bit. As you get down towards the end, you see another doorway.
Sorry, Brasnic, you're in front of me. Do we have to do our tracking movements in here?
Yes, please. As we move through this, there's definitely going to be a need for that.
You know how to do that, right, Quinn? Okay.
Okay.
I mean, I'm gonna make note to tell everybody. Remember, we've run into quite a few traps here. We might want to have somebody at the front keeping an eye out for that.
I mean, that's what I'm here for.
Want to
I mean,
move
as
up
I'm
to
saying.
the front, Brasnic?
Yep, I'll move to the front and mirror our guide as I keep an eye out for any traps.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation check. As you see this doorway here. Okay. This door does not seem to be trapped, and it's also unlocked.
Good to go. Give Meepo a thumb up and motion for.
Okay.
Well, nah, not Meepo. We need him. I will open the door, take a peek in.
Okay. All right. So you step up to the door as you open it. Go ahead and move you inside here.
All right.
Go ahead and roll another investigation check while you're in there.
All right.
And then I am going to move Meepo in. Red Tool, you're going to go ahead and step one through.
Yep, I'm following right behind Meepo.
Okay.
And I'll go next.
17 and this one.
Okay. The chambers does seem to be empty. All you can really see on a cursory inspection is some rat droppings, crumbled flagstone. Looks like some stains, possibly from previous battles or something more nefarious, less nefarious, possibly just really gross. Anyone else?
Can you pull me and Alardro through?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Okay, so as the last party member comes through, any investigation checks that want to go down can definitely do that. The 17 is good enough. You do notice some tracks in the dust, Brasnic. You can tell that some of the tracks were made by rats and some by humanoids. Anyone who would go ahead and roll a survival check with the DC of 15.
What was the last part you cut out for me?
Go ahead and roll a survival check with a DC of 15.
That's right. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Okay. You can't really tell how recent any of these tracks may be, but you can just tell that some are humanoid, some look like they were made by giant rats, rodents of some kind.
Maybe you should talk to the person who has experience tracking 4 people. I don't know if anyone else is.
Do you want to roll an investigation check? Anyone that would like to can definitely do that.
You can also point them out, right?
What's up?
You can point them out, right?
Yeah.
What you gonna do?
Okay. Yeah, anyone that would like to can roll a survival check. Damn.
I'm not gonna do it now.
Okay, yeah, you definitely, you can tell, the rat tracks are very recent. They look like maybe a day old. The humanoid tracks look like they're probably like a month old. It was probably made by 3 or 4 human-sized humanoids moving across the area to the north through the door that you see across the other side of the room there.
There are very recent rat tracks. They were here, my guess, less than 24 hours ago, or maybe 24. And I think these were the tracks of the adventurers who passed through before. They're about a month old, and there's 3 of them. They don't.
Alright, well, we're on the right tracks then.
Okay.
Seems like they also found this back way.
Oh, yes. There's only way in except for, well, the front door to the Goblin home. We don't go that way. Very dangerous. You see him kind of start heading over towards this door here. Kind of nonchalantly, he starts reaching out towards the handle.
Wait.
Ew.
What? We go?
Maple, this
Always
place
like-
is dangerous.
Always let me check any doors first, or any hallways before you walk down them, to make sure we're alright. Don't want anyone losing parts.
He kind of looks down at his hand, looks back up at you, and just kind of nods and steps out of the way.
Alright, I'll step up and give it a once over.
Okay.
I love that level of recognition.
Oh.
And I gotta. It's door's fine.
I mean, yeah, it's unlocked. Seems like it's just ready to go.
Good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and swing it open.
Okay. Nothing happens. So as you step through, this is what you see. You're gonna clear the way for anyone else to step through.
Is there? I'm gonna go over right here and take a peek. Is this dry actually?
Yeah. Let me describe that here in a second. As Meepo comes in, he kind of like comes around the corner. He's like, "Oh." Assume Ratul is also gonna step through.
Yep.
Yeah, everybody's pretty much following suit.
Okay. I just have to wait for people to find a location before anyone else can squeeze through. Right. It is quite the party. So, dust and odd bits of stony debris and rubble lie scattered on the floor. An ornate fountain is built into the eastern wall. Though cracked and stained, the fountain's overarching carving of a divine dragon retains its beauty. A relief-carved stone door stands on the western wall. Go ahead and roll investigation checks.
Alright.
Okay.
Do I see any of this? Or
Yeah, you guys all see.
okay,
So only the two of you are going to investigate?
I'm gonna do it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm kind of taking more so paying attention to the statue. I kind of want to look at it, but yeah, I'm definitely looking around.
Okay.
Yes, I believe I see all.
So anyone that rolled the 15 or higher, you guys see that there is a thin layer of scum that coats the fountain's basin, but otherwise it is dry. You also notice that there is, it looks like some sort of a worn away inscription on the basin's front. Is there anyone... Oh, we already went over this, I believe. Is there anyone that can read languages or read magic or anything of this?
I know Druidic, and I know magic, so I might be able to read it. I can try Arcana. Right?
Anyone speak Draconic?
Does
Meepo!
That's what I was waiting for. Okay, so...
I call over.
Yeah, what do you say?
Meepo, there seems to be something written here. It's probably in your guys' language, saying as that's a dragon's relief, and you're vaguely draconic. So, can you read draconic? Come over here and read.
Yeah, of course Meepo can read it. Let there be fire. As he says this, you see this fountain, suddenly you see the eyes on it start glowing with this reddish light. As it does so, you see the mouth start to bubble up as this reddish liquid begins to well from this diving dragon's mouth. As it slowly accumulates in the basin, You see that it is reddish, and it almost has this glittery effect to it. And as like little bits of the glitter collide, it almost like tiny explosions almost. But it's just this visual effect that's within the liquid itself.
If that's not magic, I'm a gnome.
And you see, after he says it, you see Meepo kind of stand back and he puts his hand over his mouth like, did I do that?
I'm going to come towards the edge and place a cautionary finger into the water.
Okay. It seems to be a little bit thicker than water. It definitely, as you pull your finger out, there's a bit of a residue on your finger.
I'm going to scoop up a handful of it and take a small sip.
Okay.
There's a process.
He's doing it. So as you do this, you get a little bit in your hand, and as you get a little bit in your mouth, it's got like a very acrid, like almost a brimstone-y kind of a taste to it. It's like almost sulfurous, you know, and so it's kind of hard to get down. And as you kind of choke down a little bit, you kind of and as you cough a little bit at the end, you see this as this burst of fire leaps out of your mouth. Just a small one.
Whoa!
It's oil.
That's not oil. All right, I know oil. I've got oil in my pack. That's not oil. You don't burp out fire if you down some oil.
Is anyone proficient in Arcana?
I am proficient. I think I took what I made. I am not. Sorry, it's a different character.
Oh, I'm proficient, but I don't have like. It's intelligence, so it's not going to be like amazingly.
Huh?
Hey, you're better than the rest of us.
You're more than welcome to roll.
Okay, I'll roll then.
Only someone with the proficiency will be able to.
No.
Ooh,
No.
sadly, you have no idea what this might be. But
As I reach into my pack and pull out my health potion, do they have like the same coloring? Just
no.
without the spark?
No, the health potion is like a bit of a deeper red, and it's more of like, like I don't know how to say wholesome, but it's more of a, you feel like it's going to be something that heals you or does something like that. As you look at what's in this basin here, it definitely looks more incendiary.
Does you have a bottle on them?
I've got an extra health potion.
Actually, we all got. Did we all take one healing potion, or I'm trying to remember if I took some extra healing potions.
I've won.
I think everyone got one. I don't know
we all
if
got
anyone's
one.
used one yet.
We haven't had to use one yet because Alardro went through his last rest.
Yeah, I gave someone 4 good berries last rest.
That's right. Okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. Ratul, seeing the effects of this, one has a thought.
We're gonna
Takes
drink
out
it
his
more.
water.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take out his water skin and squeeze out all the water that's in it.
Wait, Ratul, what you're doing? You need that to survive. It's part of survival.
Okay. So as you're
And
emptying
then
out the
I'm
water.
Yep. And then with the now emptied water skin, I'm going to fill it up to the brim with this liquid.
Okay. As you're filling up the water skin, it oddly, as it's going in there, it almost seems like the thickness of it almost congeals together and all fills into the water skin and down to the last drop, and it's almost like some sort of a like a magical effect of some kind, where all of this liquid is somehow fitting into this smaller vessel than the actual liquid amount was, and it is all kind of going along together, like it's staying as a whole. So
it's
yeah,
more like jelly.
as it all kind of gathers into the water flask, you have this available now. Anyone that could
So the
do,
entire fountain drink?
yeah, anyone that could do like a detect magic or identify or something like that can figure out what it is. But you had a
Well-
pretty good example.
I get a free detect
I
magic.
wanted to.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, Alardro.
Yeah, I get a free detect magic every short rest, so I shall do that. Give me a second.
You're gonna do that now.
Yeah, I get a free detect magic for the short rest.
So, wait, did all the liquid inside that basin go into my water skin, or just a good majority of it?
All of it did, and that's what I mean. Like
All of
it's
it?
yeah, it seemed like it was more liquid than would fit in your water skin, but somehow all of it went in there, and it congealed inside of there like it was alive, almost like it was like flowing into the water skin, and somehow more liquid than could possibly fit in there all managed to fit in there.
Does it feel heavier now, or does it feel about the same when I had it full of water?
Same.
Okay, where do I see the magic?
In the water skin now.
Yeah,
Well,
the fountain itself is glowing. As he's gathering this potion, you can see that the fountain slowly loses its glow of magic.
Okay.
Hey, Meepo, say that again.
That again.
Let there be
Say, let there be fire.
Oh, sorry.
In Draconic.
Okay, so he says the phrase again in Draconic, and he actually says it very grandly and dramatically, and expecting the same reaction, of course. And as he says the phrase, nothing happens. And then he kind of like stops for a second, and he looks at it, like you see his eyebrows kind of furrow a little bit, and he says, does it again, says the phrase again. He's like, I thought I was magic.
It's good try, buddy. It's probably the statue itself that was, but you were the only one capable of activating it, so take away that.
Yeah.
But it seems like it's a one-time use.
It was always Meepo's dream to be a great sorcerer like Yusdrael. But they not let Meepo study magic.
Who knows? Maybe they might after this.
Well, I tell him I know a magic phrase.
Meepo, I'm sorry to tell you this, but sorcerers are born with their powers.
Huh?
Sorcerers are born with their powers, but if you wanted to be a druid, there are paths you can take to learn the art of nature magic.
Oh,
I've heard tales of.
I'm gonna say, what about
Sorcerers
wizards?
in-
They read from book.
Yeah, but also sorcerers. No, they're not just born with it. It's also what is it? God, do you remember? There's a tale. I had a cousin. One of those guys who would rather live above ground than under it. He got caught in a storm. That's right. He got caught in a storm, and it was one of those vicious ones, and came out of it a sorcerer.
Are you sure? Sorcerer? I thought sorcerers had to be born with powers.
No, I'm sure we had him checked, and if I can remember it right, it's part of your bloodline, or it can be real nasty elemental effects. I can infuse you with some primal.
Meepo have great dragon blood.
Yeah, he's a kobold. They look dragonish. So somewhere in his line, there probably should be some dragon. Some percentage of dragon of blood, right?
Well,
You keep dreaming, Meepo. Don't let anyone question.
Meepo might like to be a druid.
druids call upon the ancient magic of nature, and they
Oh,
become.
but
They
not
can
not
become.
like a scary druid, like uh like and he kind of points down.
You want to be like him?
No, not like Balak. He's scary druid.
He said the name of that druid. Have I ever heard of anyone by that name? That's the first time the name of him has been revealed.
Okay.
Should I roll a history check, or is there another check for me to check if I've heard of that name before?
Go ahead and roll.
Which type of roll?
You could do a history check to see if you've heard of
Oh, okay.
Balak the Outcast. Oh my
Oh,
god. Damn. Damn, son.
Oh, you're rolling all in their 20s today.
As he says
I think that's 2 in a row.
Balak, you instantly like freeze. Like this druid is like famous, and there are a lot of sects of druid. There's a lot of different types of druids around the world, but this guy is famous among all the orders as someone who completely turned on the druidic order and used the nature magic for great acts of evil, and basically abused everything that druids stand for.
Okay. Balak?
Balak the Outcast. So, there you go. Meepo. Meepo giving you knowledge. So, you know that this is not just any druid that just turned his back and, or was, cast out for some minor infraction or anything like that. So, on the western door, you guys see carvings that show skeletal dragons. You see another inscription on this door, carved into the archway above it.
Meepo, if you please.
You kind of pointed out to Meepo?
Yeah. I'm gonna tell him, read it to yourself first and think whether you should say it out loud, and then tell us if you can in a roundabout way.
Okay. He kind of looks over at the door, and he kind of steps over here, and he starts to try and squeeze through in between the fountain and Ratul, and it's not quite big enough, and he looks up at Ratul like he's about to, see if Ratul wants to move. Oh, okay.
I move.
Okay. He wasn't gonna press the issue. You're very large and intimidating. And he starts walking closer.
That's the point.
Right? As he walks closer, you see him step here, and you see him instantly kind of recoil a little bit, and he steps back away, and he shivers a little bit, and he says, "Oh, ooh." And he looks up at the inscription and looks over at you, Yin Yang, and he says, I don't know.
Will it activate anything?
He just kind of looks at you like he has no idea what that even means. The words that just came out of your mouth.
Meepo, come over here and whisper it in my ear. Nice and far away from.
Okay. He comes over and he whispers something to you in Draconic.
Now translate, Meepo. What does that mean in common? But again, whisper to me in my ear.
Rebuke the dead. Open the way.
Alright, so I think it's a warden against the undead. according to what Meepo says. Of course, it's interconic. What I think Keith did from coming out. If we say it, it may. Actually, I'm gonna check the door. Is the door actually locked, or is there a lock on?
There is. Let me see. Yeah, there is definitely a lock. As you are you trying the door? You said. Pretty sure those words came out.
I'll give it a once over first.
Okay.
Do the good old once over.
I mean, it looks like a pretty intricate door handle. Definitely looks to be some sort of like draconic inscriptions, skeletal dragons that are around a lock of some sort.
All right. So is the lock like a padlock, or is it a lock in the door?
In the door itself.
Door itself. Okay.
And it's not even necessarily a keyhole.
Yeah.
It looks like something with the dragons. You can tell that part of the bone mechanism on the dragon carving itself. It's like in the metallic. Seems to be some sort of like a lever mechanism with a couple different things.
Alright, so I'm gonna see if there are any traps or anything I can make out of this.
Okay.
Before we go pulling levers.
Go ahead and roll that, sir.
Damn it, my passive is higher than that.
You're not seeing any sort of a trap or anything.
It looks alright to me. We're just gonna see here. Here's level, and just yank it.
You're gonna just try and open it?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, the one's over here. Open it up.
That's always how it works, right?
Yeah. I'm the trap finder. If I say it's clear, we're fine.
Okay.
I have yet to fail.
Well, as you try the door, you hear as this sliding mechanism kind of opens up above you. As you look up into the ceiling, you see a long wooden handle suddenly leap down out of the ceiling with a huge scythe attached to it as it springs forth. Go ahead and roll. Let me see.
Initiative.
Why would I roll initiative? It's a trap.
I don't know.
He's faster than the trap. He gets to attack the trap before it resolves.
Exactly.
Let's see. What is your armor class?
Right now it's 14.
So we get a d20 plus 5 to hit you. 17. And we are going to do 1d8 points of slashing damage as this scythe launches out of the ceiling and it just slams down into you. As you, the force of it itself slams you up against the wall. As it retracts, it pulls the blade back out of your midsection as it slams back up into the ceiling.
Grab the handle.
Yep, go ahead.
Athletics?
Or acrobatics, either at your leisure, sir. Discretion? Whatever, words.
9!
9 is sadly not going to be good enough.
9.
We would need a 15 if anybody else would like to try.
Try what?
I mean, being a reaction, I think he'd be the only one that could since he thought of the idea.
He's also pretty far away from me.
Yeah, me and him are the closest.
I mean,
grab it.
I could try it because I'm the strongest person in the party, hands down.
Clearly. Okay, no, and that seems legit. Meepo would definitely not even think to try. So, it's just a little bit too fast. You're able to get your fingers on a little bit, but it retracts back into the ceiling. You see the opening close back up in the ceiling again. Now that you've discovered the trap, it does look like you might be able to get like an iron spike or a similar object stuck into the opening and maybe try and block it.
Right. As I hold me guts in. Oh, might have miscalculated a bit there, boys. But now that the trap has been sprung, it's easy enough to stop it. As I dig in my pack and pull out one of my pittons, which I have 10 of,
Okay.
and my hammer, and after wrapping some bandages around the stomach to keep myself intact, I'll go ahead and look at Ratul and say, "Hey, since that almost got spilling out here, I give him the pit and the hammer. Just spike it in right there. Spike the spikes of the trap won't activate again."
I'll take the pit and hammer and hand him my potion of healing.
Oh, I was gonna remind him. Don't forget, you have your good berry. Well,
yeah. Straight. That's. It's gonna heal me fully, or is it gonna heal me?
Just a little bit. But
I'm gonna take the. That was a big scythe, and I'm not exactly the tallest guy. It was pretty far into me.
Yep, so I hand him my potion of healing and take the pin and spike and just go ahead and just hammer the damn thing home where he told me to. Do I have to roll something for that, or can I just do it?
There you go.
Hey,
Even much better.
My apologies. Okay. So, did you roll for hit points? You got 8 of those back, so you are back to full.
Yep.
By the way, just future reference, because you rolled 2, that would be a +4. You only rolled for one of the potions on the +2. They both give you the +2 each time you drink one.
I'm only drinking one.
Oh. I thought they were 1d4 +2. My mistake.
No, that's
Normal
just a
potions are
shitty
2d4
potion.
those are the cactus juice. Don't you remember?
I'm mixing up games. Sorry.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, like when.
Well, it's like it's the same thing as a health potion, but it's except you get drunk.
Oh, never mind.
Yep.
Yeah.
So,
Ratul follows my directions and hammer it in. He was wondering if you had to make a roll or if you could just do that.
Let's see. Yeah, actually, go ahead and make a strength or dexterity check.
just a straight strength or dex?
Yeah.
Strength it is!
Boom. Yeah, you get
yeah.
the pike in place, the python in place. So you hammer it in with just one shot with the hammer, and you can tell that it is solidly blocking this trap at this point.
I was wondering if that just ended up. I tried to hit the pin, but I just missed and it just destroyed the trap with the hammer.
Just roll the net 1.
No, if you fail, then it would have sprung and hit you.
I'm just saying that was a critical, so.
Yeah. Yeah, basically this python is in there for all time.
Alright.
Yeah.
Well, seeing as the door didn't open when I pulled the lever and it just activated the actual trap, I'm guessing we have to say the phrase to get the door open. Because turns out that's not actually a lock. It's just the mechanism to fuck with you.
You can tell that the lock could be forced. It could be damaged. But there's also, like I said, it looks like there's some sort of a mechanism with the bones of the dragon itself that you can try and use that to unlock it.
I got my thieves' tools and I know locks. I'm gonna try that this time.
Okay.
Instead of just yanking a fucking lever.
I mean,
Yeah,
all things
give
go
me a
wrong.
break.
I mean, if all things go wrong, I could always use foot key.
He's done it before.
For the key, yeah, right. Well, here we go. I get a bonus to this because I have Master of Locks. So I get a D4 to make these rolls check.
Yeah, do that.
Here's that, and then 1D.
Okay.
Total 18.
Yes, that's enough. All right. So you're able to mess with all of the bones that are on this plate here. You're able to. It almost looks like this dragon form is not in the proper shape. And as you kind of, you're a dwarf. You've had experience with dragons and stuff before. As you kind of reform the bones of this, you kind of make the dragon look how it's supposed to. And as you do so, the door kind of has a little bit of this blue flash right around the lock area, and then it just slowly swings open. There's like an aura of coldness as you touching the door. It almost feels icy to the touch. And as it swings open, there's just like a little kind of a gust of like coldy or icy coldness. And there's like
when you open a fridge.
Yeah, exactly. And then there's almost like a ghostly blue aura that emanates from the room as it silently swings open.
What has this taken more than 10 minutes?
No.
Because our furball there did activate detect magic.
I was gonna bring it up. What do I see with all that?
Okay. Are you going to step aside and let the furball kind of check it out?
Oh yeah, no, it's holding. There was a thing about undead. I'm letting him step in.
Okay.
It don't work so well with daggers when you're facing skeletons.
Okay. So you're going to peek your head in there, Alardro?
Yeah.
Okay. 5 dusty sarcophagi, 3 to the north and 2 to the south, stand on end in the silent chamber. Each of the carved stone coffins resembles a noble, elf-like humanoid in ceremonial robes. An altar, with images of dragons carved into its black obsidian, is set in the center of the west wall. A single candle burns brightly on the altar. Next to the candle are a small whistle and a crystal flask.
I want it.
And I need
I need that crystal flask. Brasnic is sort of like slowly moving towards it, just like there's that greedy gleam in his eye. That's the entire reason why he went down here without you guys in the first place.
I'm gonna hold up. I'm going to
Alardro is still in the doorway.
see. There's something there. I'm gonna go check, but leave room for me to run out, and to not barricade the door, but to fight something if it runs out.
I don't think it's a good idea that you go in there alone if the door shuts.
Yeah, I'll go
We'll be
inside
alone.
with him just in case.
Me as well.
Okay. Are you going to move out of the doorway, Alardro? Show me where
yeah.
you're stepping.
Right here.
Okay. And you're going to go through Rotul?
Yep.
Brasnic, if you want a part of this, we need you to look for, the dangerous things.
Is Brasnic going in as well?
Oh yeah, no, I want that crystal flask.
I'm gonna take out my sword.
Okay.
It's
The
not-
others are going to stay where they are for now?
Oh no, I'm coming in.
Then Brasnic needs to get out of the way.
I'm gonna investigate to see if.
You gotta give me a moment to investigate.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an investigation.
Can I help him?
Yep.
Could I come in too?
Gok's like,
There's
guys.
a too small. I think the room's too tight.
Someone's going to have to
13's my
move.
best at help.
Oh. Brasnic does not see what's going on here.
Oh, I got a 13
I know.
because he said he was helping me.
Okay. Meepo's just kind of out here. All right.
Does any? Oh.
Okay. So it's going to be just kind of a cursory investigation from this side of the room, obviously.
I shall investigate too.
You can't tell too much more from what I told you before. From what's here, like I said, there's just the sarcophagi, 3 to the north, 2 to the south, and then that altar has some objects on there. As you're kind of gathering into the room, it does look like the whistle is made of some sort of crystal. Seems to have some sort of inscriptions on it. And the flask seems to also be made of crystal, but you can't really tell any more details from this distance.
Oh, with the sarcophagi that are right next to me, or does it have? Is it just a stone box, or does it have it's like intricately carved with like
arcane or any like runes or anything on any of these things?
Yeah, any writing, language, anything says anything.
You
or
don't
like Pharaoh's
see any kind of runes or language. It is like a coffin, so it is like a box of some sort, and it's been carved to resemble some sort of elf-like humanoid in the ceremonial robes.
Alright. Ah, wait, more elves. Wonderful.
Are you inspecting them?
Well,
Yeah, I'll inspect one of them.
yeah, he can do that. I'm gonna go over to that.
I
flask.
speak Elvish.
Watch where you're stepping, Trust.
Okay.
I'm going to pull out my maul just in case, because Ratul is getting some very bad mojo from this room.
I'm gonna
Yeah, I'm kind of gonna
keep
join.
a spell on standby for Toll the Dead, just in case.
Okay.
So, because it seems like way too good to be true that there's just like this valuable thing on this pedestal.
Okay. So how are you going to interact with this sarcophagus here?
I'm just going to not touch yet, but I'll try to see if there's any distinguishing elven that is laid in it. You said that there wasn't any immediate obvious thing, but is there any elven on it?
No.
Okay, then I'm going to try and look for a seam.
Okay. You definitely find one that looks like it would be some sort of a cover. Since it is standing on its end, it does seem like it would be something that would kind of swing open.
Okay. I'm going to... Will it swing open to its left or to its right?
You can't really tell.
So the hinge... There's no, hinges that I can obviously see.
Not that you can see, no.
I'm going to lightly tap it with my shield.
Okay. As you're doing that, roll. Let's see. That's funny. Okay, so there's two things that happen, I guess. Right now, as you're tapping the sarcophagus, at the same time, Brasnic, you're reaching over towards the flask that is on this altar, and you hear this tap behind you just as your hand closes around this flask. As it does so, you see this flash of light from the candle, and it stays lit, but it just kind of changes color in a flash for a second. As it does so, as all of the doors on these sarcophagi slowly creak open, from inside you see pinpoints of reddish light flare to life inside of these skeletal creatures as you see them start reaching up with ancient bones from undead elves as they start coming out of these sarcophagi towards you.
You just had to tap the coffin, didn't you?
Me and Rat will get any attacks. We were ready to attack if something came out of these things.
A few of us were.
Yep.
Everyone is going
to
to
attack.
get a round of action
Okay.
as 5 skeletons come to life.
Shucks.
Yeah. So there's that. Everyone go ahead and grab your tokens. Let's roll some new initiatives. I'm actually going to clear this out, and then I will add those back in. If I deleted you, I apologize. Go ahead and roll again, and I'll fix it.
Damn, I rolled really well tonight,
I'll
boys.
take the 14.
That's man. I might actually go first finally.
Oh man. I don't know. I think I got a higher dexterity because mine's a 20.16.
Ooh. Yeah, that's pretty high. Jeez. Wait
Okay.
a minute. I have a 20. It's like
Oh no, Brasnic's in deep trouble right now.
Oh, we're good.
okay. Well, I guess.
Okay. We can just go with those
20
initiatives. Everyone's happy with that?
Yeah. Well, I
Reroll. No, I'm kidding.
I held Toll the Dead as one of my things, but I guess.
Yeah, no,
That's what he's
he
saying.
says
You
we're gonna
the
get a
free
surprise
round.
round.
Yeah, we get it. Now,
Yin Yang got the 20. Okay, I got that up in time. Perfect. All right.
No, we.
Oh, no,
we
he goes-
both got a 20.
Yeah,
but
but he
on the-
goes first. He's 16.
Yeah. It's weird that nobody else has that.
I have.
It's an option. You can turn it on in your settings. You said
Yeah.
use dexterity modifier to.
Oh. You got to do it on your own. Okay. Well, that's fine.
Yeah, it's-
Mr. Yin Yang, you are first. What would you like to do, sir?
He tried to
I
boast
was
that.
attacking it, but I just
Oh.
rolled a nat one.
Okay. With the bow staff, it's kind of tight quarters. As you go in, you see the door kind of swing open, and you see like claws reach out around the edge of the door. You can't really see it too well as you kind of trying to like get your staff around to get a good angle on it. The other end of it actually smacks Ratul in the back of the head for 1 point of damage.
Sorry, my bad. And now I'll just punch.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Go ahead and roll that damage.
Alright, so pretty much as soon as I see it, since it's opening further, I'll wait till I see the red eye. And just,
Yeah, you see the
right
its
there.
skeletal face, like just starting to peek out. Seems to have some sort of like ancient ceremonial robes on the creature, and much of it is obviously rotted away and gone, but there's still some scraps left. Some sort of like a circlet on its head. As it pokes its way out, you see it's kind of like the reddish eyes deep in the sockets kind of turned towards you. It's like,
oh no! Right across.
as you punch it in the face for 5 points of damage.
Does
Okay.
appear to be extra hurt by that punch.
You do
More
what?
than does that
I mean, it's bludgeoning damage. I don't know if they.
just asking, does that punch
They're skeletons.
get more than when
Yep,
when
damage vulnerabilities is going to be from bludgeoning, so you actually do 10 points of damage. Good call.
I was trying to ask him like a more like game friendly question. But
Yeah, no, that's a good catch. I dig it. All right, so yeah, you do 10 points as you hit it. It actually it separates the skull from the body itself. You see the skull kind of like launch back into the coffin as it clatters down on the floor. You see it kind of like roll its skull up towards you, and it's still kind of like jawing towards you, but obviously it can't move. But the body itself is still kind of coming.
All right.
Nightmare fuel, awesome.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Was that the end of your turn, sir? I preemptively.
Yeah, I think that's all I got for this for the surprise round. Yeah.
Sorry, I kind of preemptively did that. Mr. Sour Gut, what would you like to do here?
First I'm gonna disengage from this guy here. Just, it's just like just to hear.
Yeah. And this one's kind of a free round for all you guys anyway, so.
I don't know. I still want to do it so he didn't get the attack of opportunity.
Sure thing.
Then I'm gonna use Toll the Dead on this guy.
Okay. Does that work on undead?
Yes, it does.
It's necrotic damage, but they probably have some resistance to it.
Nope. You are good to go, bud.
Oh,
Well,
don't have...
necrotically, like, bones can still wither and die. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's got a pass a wisdom save. It takes 11 damage
I see.
because he took damage previously.
That heavy wisdom on the skeleton was not enough to come through. So you see as it's kind of like still kind of jawing at you as it's looking up from the ground. As you cast your spell, you hear a boom. As it does so, like with the reverberations from the noise, you see the bone itself just kind of shake for a second, then just smash into a million pieces. As it does so, you see the actual skeleton body itself falls to the ground and clatters to the floor.
Hell yeah.
Good job, guys.
Yeah. That's gonna be turn.
Okay.
About time one of your spells worked.
Ouch.
It really is, honestly.
Alardro of Multini. You see this skeletal creature reaching towards you from the coffin.
As having prepared my sword, and it being in hand, and it being right in my face, I will slash out with my scimitar.
Okay. That's definitely a hit. Okay, so 3 points of damage, edge damage, as you cut at this thing. It kind of rakes across the rib cage. You can definitely see that it scores a nice mark across the rib cage, kind of breaks one of them off, but does not seem to destroy the creature.
And I'm just gonna keep it engaged.
Okay.
And try and hold it off from moving around. Keep it inside the coffin. Have my shield up against it. Try and push it, not push it into, but keep it from even getting out of the coffin.
Okay. Perfect. Not the end of your turn, sir?
Yeah, it is.
Ratul.
Yep, it's hammer time. Moving all the way up here and seeing this guy trying to come out of the coffin. Actually, question: is the coffin lid still attached to this thing, or did it just sort of slide off to the ground?
It just kind of slid off a little bit, and kind of creaked open. I guess it was kind of a hinge.
I'm gonna shut the door in its face.
Okay. Make more sense if it was hinged. Okay, go ahead and roll an athletics check for that.
$16.
Oof. Wow. Doubles? Really? Is there nothing but doubles?
I've done that once.
My.
Honestly.
Well, okay, well that just happened. As you are pushing against this thing, the skeleton does definitely manage to somehow overpower a 10-foot orc, but that happened. So you're not able to shut the creature inside of its own coffin.
And that was my action, wasn't it?
It was, sir.
It was a good try, but
It was.
God, that's so
double
fucking...
double 20s. What are you gonna do?
Right. I only get
I've got nothing to do about that.
I know there's well, okay, I got nothing left.
Get angry.
Okay.
Yeah, no bonus action rage because I'm pissed at this fucking scrawny thing just basically said nope to my muscles.
It really did. All right, yeah, that's actually a good time for rage. IMO.
Yeah, you kind of just received the ultimate you to your size by
Right?
something with no.
It's an insult to a giant orc.
Yeah,
Okay.
this thing's going to get smashed.
Brasnic, as you touch this flask, you feel that's when the magic pulsed. And this door slowly creaks open. You see these skeletal, claw-like hands opening this door next to you as it's reaching out towards you.
Mm-hmm.
The greed of a dwarf. It was actually not the tapping of the coffin that did it.
Shh, they don't even know that.
Look, I mean, to be fair, Brasnic's thing isn't as bad as what I did, so, you know.
I'm gonna hold on to that flask and go ahead and totally go with the flow and be like, damn it, you and your tapping, and disengage as I run away, holding the flask.
Okay.
I'm gonna say it's you with the flask.
And then I'm gonna go outside the room. I got my last 5 feet is to be right outside the door.
Wow.
Okay. Go ahead and roll deception.
I'm the evil character, and even I didn't do that, man. I tried to save Yin Yang. Jeez.
I'm not a good liar. Tell me that. And I wasn't the first person who blamed him. I was the second person who blamed.
We'll see.
13.
Okay. Anyone that would like to can roll.
Can I a competing what would be a competing role to try and persuade people? Can I do a persuasion to try and outroll him on people believing, or should I just roll insight?
Insight.
Okay. I know I didn't do it.
You can tell that he is definitely hiding something. But that is neither here nor there. Is that the end of your turn right now, Mr. Brasnic?
I'm gonna use my interaction to pull out a light hammer. That's it, and then that's my
Pull out a what?
a light hammer or a throwing hammer.
Okay. I thought you said a lighter, and I was like, man, that technology has not quite been invented yet. Okay, Yin Yang. We are at the top of the round. This round, the skeletons will be active. What would you like to do, sir?
Alrighty. Go ahead and try to follow suit to keep Rotul from. Can I squeeze through them or no?
Yep. You can get through there.
And then I'll go ahead and attack the one that Alardro hit.
Okay. Just gonna try and poke your bow staff in there.
Huh?
You're just gonna try and poke your bow staff in there.
Yeah. Hopefully I don't roll another nat one.
Yeah. I'm sure you won't.
14. Let's see. I think these guys have. Let me see. Where are we with these guys? That is enough to hit, sir.
Alrighty.
Go and roll that damage. 11
22.
points. 22. That is definitely going to be enough to
Nice job.
end the undead dreams of this creature with your first attack. You have a secondary
I'll
attack?
Come up, kind of do a whirlless dervish and just kind of crumple that, come from the top and just turn it to dust or pieces.
On which one?
The one I just killed.
Oh, you're
The
gonna
one I hit with the staff.
You're gonna hit it again.
Mm-hmm. And then I'm gonna jump spin kick the one right here.
Okay.
Oh, baby. Oof!
Go ahead and roll that damage.
No.
I swear to God, if you hit me again.
Okay.
It's
So
gonna be
there's
really bad.
there's three things that can happen here. I'm going to roll a d6. If I roll a 1 or a 2, you hit Red Tool. If I roll a 3 or 4, you hit the big giant. If I roll a 5 or a 6, you kick one of the coffins and you take the damage.
Oh no, 7 damage is a lot.
I'm just saying.
At this level,
This guy's rolling out ones over here. It's not my fault. Oh,
No.
the big giant takes 7 points of damage to the back of the knee.
Oh God!
But he is raging, so he's technically the best person to take this.
As
Yeah, but I hit Alardro.
yeah,
Oh, I thought the giant was the orc.
the other giant.
No, it was me. I meant to.
Yeah, I hit the healer.
You hit the healer.
Wow.
All I can do is say I'm sorry again. I don't know what's going on. There's weird magic in this room.
This is true. It's not an untrue statement.
Okay.
Okay, so Yin Yang, that is the end of your turn.
Yeah.
Just blood coming out.
Everyone's like, dude, stop attacking.
Will you let me use a free action? I'll just pull my healing potion out and give it to him. He doesn't have to drink it. I'm just handing it out to him so he can take it.
Yes, I'll allow that. He'll have to use
Okay,
a
I'll
free
hold out my
action.
healing potion.
He'll have to use a free action to take it, but yeah, you can hold it out to him.
Okay.
Okay,
Man.
Mr. Sour Gut.
I mean, I feel like Yin Yang's doing more damage to us than the actual monsters right now.
That is not true.
Okay. Okay, I'm gonna toll the dead on the guy that Ratul was attacking.
Okay.
You know, I'm gonna shake my staff and get a darker
Shake your ass.
darker color of green. I'm gonna cast. Okay. Pass the wisdom save, he takes 8 damage. Because I don't think he's taking damage yet, otherwise he takes 2.
Definitely going to take all 8 points of that.
Yep.
On the guy in the middle here?
Yeah, the guy that's above Ratul.
Okay. You again, as the toll of the dead goes off, you hear the boom, and you see like the skeleton kind of shake, and you see like a bunch of its ribs explode off. You see it kind of standing there on its spine a little bit. You see it kind of crack and craze along some of the other bone structure, but it's still kind of trying to force its way out of the sarcophagus.
Yeah.
Is that the end of your turn, sir?
Yeah, that's gonna be the end of my turn.
Okay. Alardro, you just
gonna
got kicked, bro.
I'm gonna take that healing potion and like chug it.
Okay. Go ahead and roll. Nice. Good roll. Good roll. So you heal back to full.
Did I stop?
Again? So sorry.
Or is that my full round?
Do you have a bonus action you can do?
Is drinking a potion is a bonus
Yeah, that's
action.
what-
That is the
Drink a-
bonus action, right? Yeah, so you should have an action.
Okay, so I'm going to cast. Oh wait. Oh, actually, I can't cast, can I? Because you guys are all in combat range. Oh no, because it's just it's okay, yeah. So this
Yeah, no,
one,
hostile creature.
no, this one I'm going to cast. No, because it's not an attack, so it just happens. I don't have to worry about much. So I'm going to cast Frostbite. Oh, fuck me.
Well,
Well, that effect is useful if it doesn't pass.
Doesn't. Wow. Okay.
Sadly, not going to have an effect on the creature. Is that the end of your turn?
I'm gonna move back here.
Okay.
I don't want to be in range of being.
Yep, it is the skeleton's turn.
good.
So, at 17, we're going to have two of these guys. This one is going to step out, take a swing at Ratul. This guy right here is going to take a swing at Ratul, and this one is going to step out and take a swing at Yin Yang. So we're going to have two at Ratul. You see them holding short swords. We have a 20 and an 18, sir.
Both hit.
So 7 and then 4 points of damage as they stab at you with their short swords, piercing damage.
So, yep, and I'm breaching so that
5 total.
Half of that total. Nice work, well done. And then for Yin Yang, 11. It's probably not going
That
to
doesn't hit.
Okay, so you're able to nimbly dodge out of the way as this thing clumsily stabs at you with an old and rusty short sword. Ratul, it's your turn, sir.
it's smashing time.
Oof.
God damn it! I'm just not having luck tonight.
Yeah, a 10 is not going to hit, sir.
Is this the guy who opened the door with a net 20?
It's true.
And that's all I do.
Did you have a secondary?
No, I only get one attack because I'm only level 1.
We're all level.
We're all level 1.
Yep.
It's true. Okay. Did you want to try and move? Or I guess you would take a couple of swings if you did that. Okay, Mr. Grindstone. As you get outside the doorway there, you're kind of standing there. You see Meeple kind of standing in the corner, very wide-eyed as he's looking at you. What would you like to do?
Run away! No, I'm kidding. I'm going to, actually, well, does Meeple have a sling?
You can't tell.
Well,
if
Meeple,
you-
get off your ass, and if you've got a sling, start slinging stones at the skeletons inside. Help out, boyo! And then for myself, I'm gonna go ahead and, place the, as a free action, place the flask, right on the end of outside of the door, like over here.
Okay.
And pull out a second light throwing hammer.
Okay.
And then I should be able to see into the room from where I am, so I will go ahead and throw the first hammer at one of the healthier ones next to somebody. Because on my
one?
screen I can actually
Oh, you can't see. That's right. I'm gonna go ahead and just put you inside the doorway.
Okay. So I guess this one, since it's better line of sight.
Okay.
So alright, hammer away.
It's gonna have some
Disadvantage.
slight cover.
I said this is from our morning feasting.
What is that cover rule? I got a Dungeon Master screen for Christmas, so I can look up a
I
bunch
thought
of
you
stuff.
said you only projectile vomited. That's why you didn't have the disadvantage.
No, this is 11.
Wait, I thought I had disadvantage for weapon attacks.
Disadvantage gives them bonus to their AC.
And let's see.
No, he
so
told you
we're
to
at
roll it. He said
we'll
to
say half
projectile
cover. So
bottom.
yeah, he just gets a +2 bonus. And
Sorry,
would you roll 11?
11 with disadvantage, yeah.
Why is it a disadvantage?
It wouldn't be a disadvantage, so you're fine.
Oh, I thought this morning.
No, he just gets a +2 to his armor class because he's got half cover.
Guys, you're not letting me finish what I'm saying. This morning, when I tried the food and got poisoned, I was told I had disadvantage. I don't know how for long, so that's why I did it with disadvantage. I know cover rules. I was doing disadvantage because this morning, remember when we were eating the food?
Oh no, I had amended that and said that just throwing up the breakfast was the punishment.
Ah.
So you're good to go. You're good to go.
Alright, so 18 still hits then, I guess.
Yes, sir.
Alright, and since it's a ranged weapon and there's an ally nearby, I get my sneak attack. About the only way we can ever get sneak attack with a bludgeoning.
Yeah, and you get double damage. So
10 damage in total.
So as it's standing there quivering from the toll of the dead, as it's still kind of trying to recover, the hammer comes in and smashes it to pieces. It's like bone fragments scatter across the floor.
And then with the offhand bonus action, since I have another light hammer and it's a light weapon, I'll chuck it at the one in front of Yin Yang because Yin Yang's not as tall as our orcish friend.
Okay.
So I can actually probably lob it towards one of the skeletons. So, so yeah, one.
I need a 15.
I got a 13.
Not quite enough to hit, sir. So as you lob it over there, you see it kind of hit against the wall and thunk down behind the altar there. Okay, and that's the end of your turn.
And then I'm gonna go ahead and dip to the right, so I have me some protecting my flask.
Okay.
And out of sight.
Back out of the doorway, you mean?
Yeah. Back out of the doorway and to the right, so I'm out of sight.
Okay. Mr. Yin Yang.
Alrighty.
So you have skeletons to attack, but I mean there are party members around you, so you can attack them.
Yeah.
Just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just offering, options.
I'm gonna go for the skeleton directly in front of me.
Okay. I gotta give you a little bit of shit, right?
This is where he rolls a net 20 right now.
Nat 1. Oh, nice! Beautiful! That was awesome. That was super freaking awesome right there. That couldn't have been scripted any better. Okay, so go ahead and roll your damage on that.
It's kind of giving me an error on my damage, so I'm gonna need to roll 1d4.
Oh, it's giving me an error too. Weird.
Using it two-handed?
Yeah.
Isn't that 1d8? 1d6?
So what? Yeah. Sorry. Actually, yeah, you're right. My bad.
Oh.
So what's the total damage? 2d8? Okay. So 7 points, but you get to double that. You already get double damage. So you are definitely able to annihilate this skeleton, no problem. Actually, as we'll just go ahead and do this, as you swing with this staff, it completely just obliterates the skull of the first one, and just like you see fragments of bone just flying everywhere. As you finish the swing through, it actually connects with the next one here and manages to destroy that one as well.
Nice. You killed all of them, basically.
Yep.
But you also hit us for 8 total.
I was a whirling dervish of pain. Sorry.
It's true.
Yeah.
Just don't let the man loose with his bow staff, because he gives no fucks. Okay.
He falls off the cliffs, he hits teammates. This temple really doesn't want him to succeed.
I mean, you guys are all taking your legs as we go through here.
That's the first time anything has hit me ever.
Welcome to dungeon delving in Dungeons and Dragons.
That's the first time anything has been hit.
I do have to say though, it's 12:30.
Yeah. So we are definitely going to be wrapping it up for tonight. I just wanted to kind of get through that battle there. We are going to pick it up in 2 weeks. Next week we'll be running our other campaign, hosted by Mr. Gok Sour Gut over here. But in 2 weeks we'll definitely get back to this, and then we will go ahead and go through exploring the rest of this chamber, and then moving deeper into the Citadel. Definitely we're able to get some good stuff done. I was curious actually how far we were going to be able to dive in further into the Citadel, just with the incident, the altercation that led the evening off with the attempted jailbreak shenanigans. I'm impressed how that turned out. That was a lot of fun to go through. So.
Yeah, it really was.
Anyway, I appreciate you guys showing up. I appreciate anyone that might have watched. And we will see you guys here in a couple of weeks. I appreciate you tuning in to Kronos World and past, present, or future. And we will be seeing everybody soon. You guys have a great evening. And catch you next time.
Good night, all.
Right.
Hasta luego.
Good night.